Okay, well now I guess you guys get to see the whole process from the start, at least. So, go over here. We're going to use this wonderful program made by a guy named Aldolaro. We're going to basically just toggle these teams right here a bunch of times and figure out what our RNG seed is. So I'm entering in the trainer name and the team that we get. We basically do that enough times to where the program narrows our possible seeds down to 1. Usually only takes like 6 or 7 passes. Alright, found my seed. I guess I might as well just go for the first thing I see as long as the defense isn't too bad with mild nature. So what I'm going to have to do is actually go in and out of these teams a bunch more times. Hopefully it finds one before the number gets too high, otherwise we'll be doing this a while.
But yeah, this manipulation works with pretty much all versions of the game: Japanese, PAL, NTSC, and also XD. NTSC in Japanese, but not XD PAL. Speaking from experience.
Poor Retro can't do this.
At least not for XD, but it works for Colosseum.
Yeah, it's really weird. So we're doing this 39 times. I'm at 15 now. Nine more. Okay, so once again, time starts when I select yes. I'll count it down.
Oh, just go. I mean, you have to count it down. I'll just do it when you say yes.
All right. So I have this wait time set a little bit higher than I normally would in real runs, just so we wouldn't have to do so many rerolls. Could say that I planned to have technical issues and would have to redo the process.
Yeah, please stick to the script.
I'll try. Alright, here we go. 4, 3...
Wait, dang, I think I pressed start the wrong yes text box. Oh well. Never mind. That'll be your penalty.
Okay. Alright, so if we hit the right frame, this Espeon's going to have perfect special attack and a high hidden power electric. If we got the wrong frame, we can still play the game a little bit forward until we get to the point where I have a backup save. Because there's actually more than one starter in this game. So you start out with this Espeon and Umbreon that you see here in this cutscene, but Umbreon is going to be replaced by something else in about 20 minutes or so. And that second Pokemon needs to have pretty good stats and a good nature as well. And there is actually no manipulation for that Pokemon. So that's the reason I have a backup save that has both a Manipped Espeon and a good second Pokemon. So 1865...
Well, Umbreon only loses like half an hour.
Yeah, there is a category where you use Espeon and Umbreon for the whole game. Gino can probably tell you all about that.
It's bad, don't do it.
So since we're reasonably confident that we're at least close to the right frame, we actually don't have to bring up the stats to check them. We can just wait until we get into this first battle and look at their HP stats as we send them out. If either one is wrong, then we know we didn't hit the right frame. And it looks like if we hit the right frame, Umbreon should have 85 HP, and Espeon will have 70. So 85 and 70 is what we want to see. And this guy has one of the best tracks in the game, by the way. If this is a wrong frame, I think I'm going to have to use Bite with Umbreon instead of Taunt. Okay, it's wrong. We were 2 frames late? Yeah, 2 frames late. So sad we don't get to go for a official world record attempt during a marathon.
I mean, to be fair, the Crocodile would probably have like 47 attack anyway.
Yeah, I mean, again, there's no manip for the Croc, so...
Oh, the second Pokemon is gonna be Croc. I thought it was gonna be Plusle.
You gotta use Bayleaf.
Or Makuhita.
Makuhita, or it's not all nice.
I don't know, there is a Quilava route being made by somebody, I think.
Yeah, I tried. Don't do that either.
But you would normally go for Taunt on Umbreon in case Zigzagoon were to use Tail Whip. Taunt will make the opponent only use attacking moves, so that's a little bit faster.
Yeah, I've seen enough marathon runs in the past that got bad Espeons at the start, end up not killing those Zigzagoons and these Whismers coming up. So where we would normally taunt, I'm just going to bite these fights. Except for maybe the coughing. I don't really want to get the poison animations if it uses poison gas. Nice. Silverwind Boost is in the chat.
He's about 3.5 hours too early. Gotta come back later.
He's just letting you know what's about to happen.
Foreshadowing, you know. So yeah, all the fights that happen up until the second Pokemon that we're gonna get are pretty easy. We don't really need to have a good Espeon for them. It's just these aren't guaranteed one-shots like they normally would be.
Can't wait until we can just task this game and have Umbreon crit everything. And we don't have to worry about taunts.
Yeah, Ty Kevin, get on it. Full task of Colosseum.
I might do it someday.
So this is the cutscene where we get to meet our companion, who isn't annoying in any way.
Doesn't block your path when you leave buildings or anything.
And you can't store her into the PC, like Pikachu. That runner's expression is perfect, saying yuck.
Pretty much.
She does nothing after the first... actually ever.
But she tells you what Pokemon are Shadow Pokemon.
Shadow Rush would never tell me that.
So one interesting thing with the trainer names. Like, I had to pick Wes for my player. The RNG manipulation won't work if you try to pick a custom name. Like, it won't be consistent anymore. Because the RNG advances at a different rate if you scroll over to the custom. So I had to pick one of the defaults, and Wes is just the shortest default name.
Few people have gotten it with custom names. It's not worth the trouble, though. You have like a 10% chance of hitting it.
Yeah.
Oh, we could talk about the whole sub 4 is much easier now thing, right? Or is it too early?
You can go
You
ahead.
know,
Not much else to talk about here.
what are you talking about? Who's that
What's
guy?
up?
Oh, he's not important in any way.
He's a normal NPC. Nothing suspicious about him.
Yeah, it's just a kind old mayor, just helping us on our journey.
And a totally not suspicious guy walking out of the mayor's office.
And I'm sure this won't be the meeting place of more suspicious characters coming up shortly. So now we just kind of walk in here to basically just trigger this cutscene when we leave, because we can't actually do a challenge here. A few of the Colosseums in this game are required for the story, but this isn't one of them.
Always found it funny that it's called Pokemon Colosseum, but you're only required to go through one Colosseum, and then the Welcome Tower, if that could be considered a Colosseum.
Yeah.
Technically, you do have to do Deep Colosseum to finish the post game.
Yeah, if you're
But that's
doing
not
all
required from the
snags or
speed.
100%, yeah.
Who would do that, to be honest?
Would do all snags, you're right.
Who would do 100%?
Penguin.
And who would do 100% series of all Pokemon games?
Penguin.
Yeah, he's crazy.
Who would do a 100-hour plus speedrun?
And not even do it in one sitting, then it's not a speedrun.
It's not a speedrun unless you see a shiny.
Hey, a Corphish flinch that we never see in a normal run.
Only in marathons.
Look at this task.
73 special attack on Espeon, oh boy.
At least it's not a 63.
You also want to go for Return whenever you can, because Return is a little bit faster animation than Confusion. Because that's the whole theme about this game, you can't turn off battle animations like in other Pokemon games.
And Return's base power at this point is pretty high. It's not totally maxed out, though. Alright, so I'm going to do the shopping here a bit differently. I'm actually not buying anything yet. I'm going to delay. We do have to talk to somebody in here, though, in order to actually leave the town. Otherwise, Rui's going to pester us. It's like, we need to go shopping! We need to go shopping! Then we get the tip about Pokeballs being sold at Outskirt.
Yeah, normally we would go upstairs and get our items immediately and then talk to an NPC up there that will also trigger the next segment, but it's done differently now.
I mean, you could still do that. You just don't want to be able to get 32.
Yeah, true.
32 is enough.
Yeah, typically I just go for the 32, but for the marathon safety, I kind of want to have a few extra for when things go bad. I mean, if things go bad, not when things go bad.
Silver Wind Boost is in the chat, don't worry. You'll be fine.
I love the way you said that. You'll be fine.
It's only like, what, 10 minutes until Kale? You'll be fine.
Yeah,
Gatekeeper Kale.
and my safety save is actually made before the Kale fight, so that'll be fun. More suspicious characters who aren't suspicious in any way. People might be familiar with this afroed individual here. I don't know, he's kind of famous, I guess.
I guess it's kind of inconvenient that we played XD first and then the prequel afterwards. Because XD takes place 5 years after Colosseum, I believe.
Yeah, something like that. And these two henchmen of Mirabee's as well. They make brief appearances in XD.
5 years later and still so many resets.
Still no Teddy Manip.
Nah, that can't happen. One day, though. Make it too easy. We have to go through all the 20s before we get a 27 or 28.
Yeah, Teddy Manip might be a little bit easier than Croc Manip just because there's not as much NPC movement in the outside of the lab area. So you could potentially save the game out there and do one, but in this game you have to save at PCs. Oh, nice crit, Umbreon.
I told you guys, this was a test. Did it kill?
It did.
Didn't. Oh, then yeah, it's a test.
Yeah, Umbreon has to have pretty good special attack to kill with a crit there. Maybe we'll do the same thing to this Duskull. So in this fight we see our first Pokemon with a black aura surrounding it that Rui's been talking about. They're called Shadow Pokemon. And this one, if we were to snag it, would actually be a guaranteed catch with any ball that you throw. It's the only one in the game that's scripted that way, I believe. But we're not going to snag it because we don't need it. We're not really going to be snagging very many Shadow Pokemon in this run. It's not required to beat the game. Just catching the ones that'll help us go fast. Alright, no crit, no flinch on Duskull. But just Leer. It's better than Nightshade.
And Shadow Pokemon basically work like wild Pokemon. Their stats and nature can be completely randomized.
And they can be stolen.
They are completely randomized. And they can also be shiny. But the way that works is that it can be shiny when you encounter it, on your opponent, but when you catch it, it's probably not going to be shiny anymore. That's an even higher chance. But it also works the other way around. You can catch a Shadow Pokemon as a non-shiny, and when you look at it in your party, it will be shiny.
Surprise! It's shiny.
Oh yeah. I did get a shiny Eevee once. XD.
Yeah, I got
No, it
one.
had-
I got one in XD right before the Manip happened, so it basically became worthless.
It's still somewhat hard to find a shiny Eevee to minute in that thing.
Yeah.
Unless you wait like 2 minutes.
So now
That's,
we're gonna do my shopping that I usually do earlier on, but now we'll be able to get more X specials. 35, very good. And then a consequence of this is I just have to remember to buy one less hyper potion later. But we'll be picking up extras in chests and whatnot. So then we fight Bluno.
You didn't have to talk to that guy again, did you? The NPC upstairs.
Oh man, I did. Wow, just sheer muscle memory. Yeah, it's the guy we normally talk to in a run, but the girl downstairs works too. We got a female croc in front of us, so this could be interesting. When I load up my save file, it might be, you know, not female anymore. One of you guys want to talk about the ball duplication?
This game's programmed perfectly.
It's glitchless.
Glitchless run. Lol.
But yeah, in this game you can use as many Pokeballs, Great Balls as you want. Also with the Master Ball when you get it to that point, because on the first turn when you throw a Pokeball, you can, on the second turn, switch around the Pokeball with the Great Ball, and it won't actually take the Pokeball from your storage, so you can use infinite Pokeballs if you want. The same with Great Balls. He's probably most likely doing it with Great Balls right now.
Yeah, and Croc's about a 40-ish% catch rate from full HP, which I typically just keep YOLOing for in a run. But in this case, we didn't take too much damage on turn 1, so we'll just go ahead and weaken it a little bit. And then it just used Bite on Umbreon, which does next to nothing, so we're fine. And Spoink is very smart, can use Psywave on Umbreon.
The AI of all these trainers are random for a while, so you'll see not very smart decisions like that.
All Shadow Pokemon AI is completely random as well.
Not all of them.
Most of them, then.
No,
Yeah, I think it's
not a lot
tied
of
to the
the
trainer,
only thing.
so if the trainer has random AI, the Shadow Pokemon will, but if it has smart AI, then it will just follow suit with that.
Oh, smart, like attacking a puzzle.
Yeah. This Croc's not being very nice. To move it, you can just press X or Y and then just move it to a different slot. So you have to have at least one ball of a different type in order to do...
So if the Duke created more instead of just keeping the one that you had, and you were just able to get infinite money, you know what that would be great for? Retro?
100%.
Yes.
Oh, percent. I don't think we mentioned that category actually.
Terrible category, never do it.
What's the difference?
You have less money. It's 4 hours of walking. Enjoy.
Wow, it's actually not a bad Croc that we got. Too bad we missed the Espeon Manip, so we'll be still loading up our save file here in a moment.
Oh, it's better than the rocks that I usually get.
I have some bad news for you. That's gentle.
Probably gentle, yeah. What am I doing? Don't mind that extra movement I just did at construction lot. It's not that part of the game yet.
When are you loading up your backup file?
As soon as I get to the Colosseum lobby up here.
Oh, I would normally do it after Croc, but I guess this is actually faster.
Well, I wanted to give myself time to check the Croc stats if I got the Manip and then got a promising looking Croc. And I usually am able to check the Croc stats while the Pyrite Town cutscene is loading. So yeah, our first stop here is to actually go to the Colosseum and talk to somebody who will give us a clue about these mysterious shadow Pokemon.
And you just passed the battle square. That's actually 2 circles.
So we're gonna go ahead and heal before a very tough fight. Just because I did it on my pre-save. And then we talk to this guy, who tells us about a guy named Kale. And then we're
The
gonna
more we
go...
talk about how difficult Kale is, the more he's just gonna, like, helping hand. And we know that.
Of course, this is a task.
Yeah, he's a very, very powerful trainer.
All things are for it.
Alright, so we're just at the PC, you know, pretending to save the game, checking Facebook, all that good stuff. And we're back, this time with actual runnable pokes. I did all the same shopping, all the same things you just saw me do. Nothing's different except the stats and trainer ID and all that stuff. So basically the whole run is different now because of that. But you know, pretty much nothing.
Yeah, don't do like me in my ESA winter run where I didn't do any shopping and didn't realize until I was in the middle of Pyrite building.
So this fight is completely free. There's nothing worrisome about it at all. Pay no attention to the over-leveled shadow Pokemon with powerful moves. Alright, quick attack turn 1 is fine, just don't crit Espeon, good. Very good hit with confusion. Shadow Rush kills the Ralts. It's good to get Ralts out of the way first, just so it doesn't imprison my confusion away. Oh, here comes a strength. Okay, I will have to heal that because Espeon is not faster than this Furret. It can be sometimes, depending on how Furret generates.
At least you can free shot it.
Yeah, that's very nice. You're not always able to do that. Okay, so we're fine even if that crits. And it crit.
Classic.
Nice.
Okay, Furret down. Rest of the fight's pretty standard. So Croc just went into a condition called Hyper Mode, and that's going to be very important to us for the rest of the Shadow segment of this run. It basically gives us a very, very high crit rate with Shadow Rush. It's normally like the standard 1 in 16, I believe. But then in Hyper Mode it shoots up to like 80% or something. I say or something, because I don't really know if it's 80 or 85 or whatever. It feels different from run to run.
It's very slightly over 90%.
Yeah,
And
some
it works
runs...
completely differently from reverse mode in XD.
Yeah, XD's reverse mode doesn't give you really any good benefits.
You just hurt yourself every turn. But hey, at least it doesn't waste a turn to get into it. The actual way it works is, you go into hyper mode, it tests if you're going to crit. If you're not going to, it adds another 90% chance. And then if you don't hit that, you don't crit.
That's right. I think I heard that before.
It seems.
Yeah, some
It
runs it
sounds like
doesn't
it's
feel like
over
that,
90,
but...
yeah.
So basically from here on out, while we're in hyper mode, we expect to crit. We actually make our route around critting things. and when we don't crit things, it can be bad sometimes. There's also a really fun, extremely rare thing that can happen regarding hyper mode, which I'm not gonna say what it is, just so I don't jinx myself.
Only that happened twice in the building again.
It's gonna happen 0 times in this run, though.
Going ahead and talking to the bookcase because that's normal. Just like how in Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon.
Yeah, we pretty much know exactly what to do, so we don't have to aimlessly wander around looking for clues and stuff. A lot of the characters that were in that cave behind the bookcase actually appear in XD as well, but we don't really talk to them at all in this game. Or we don't have to anyway, unless you do post-game stuff. So we're meant to go to the Colosseum next, but we come here because it turns out the Colosseum has lost power because somebody stole a gear. So we gotta go get the gear. Just a quick little fetch quest.
Speaking of gear, let's not die to Magnemite.
Oh, yeah, let's not.
There's some really great names in this game. See a few of them soon.
And great dialogue.
So that's the movement from earlier that I totally didn't do, thinking I was at a later part of the game.
Now we can speculate how we can fit that in, like, that huge gear, like, anywhere, because he doesn't have a bag. Technically, like, looking at his character.
The people working at that tower are probably like, what's this guy doing here with this giant gear twice the size of him? How did he carry that?
He just makes Rui carry everything.
She's the travel mule, or whatever it's called in English.
See, she is useful. Alright, so gear is returned. It actually has to bring up the menu whenever we use a key item.
Oh, 30 long years of cranking gears. I believe in XD it says like 35 years of cranking gears. Or 40.
That's a good career right there. Alright, now we go to the Colosseum yet again, and now we can actually enter the challenge. Because supposedly winning one of these challenges will net us a Shadow Pokemon.
Which we never actually get.
Rigged.
Then again, do we really want the one that he uses against us? Do we really want that thing?
Considering
Yeah,
how
no.
laggy it is, I don't think so. But you can press B to skip the intro, even though it's kind of a shame because the music's pretty good. So beneath Croconaws' HP bar, there's another bar, like the purple thingy, that needs to be emptied completely before we come to a place called... what's it called again?
The Gay Village.
Okay, village, that's it. So we can purify it. And that thing can be lowered in like many different ways, depending on your nature. Some natures will make the different methods go either faster or slower, pretty much. Some natures will benefit a lot from walking around to empty the shadow bar. Others will benefit a lot from entering battles. You can also call it whenever it's in hyper mode, but that will make it snap out of hyper mode.
You don't get an EXP until it goes under 3 bars. Or is it equal to 3 or under 3?
It has to be under 2 bar. Well, It has to be under 80%, 60%.
Okay, so
So
1800 wouldn't
two of the
count.
5 bars have to be gone, but then at least a little bit of the 3rd bar has to also be gone.
Kind of ruined some natures, actually.
Yeah, some natures actually will not make it before Agate Village, so you have to call them out of hyper mode. You really don't want to have to do that because it just wastes time.
Bashful, 4 calls. Gentle,
Yeah.
5 calls.
Yeah, 4 is the maximum you'd ever have to do it, and it's so slow.
Like, Gentle isn't 5? Oh, well, yeah, if you use a Metatite.
Oh yeah, assuming you
that'd be
use
5.
Croc in all fights, yeah, 4 is the maximum. But if you're going to use Metatite, yeah, you may need 5. And we got our first non-crit in hyper mode, which in this fight's not too bad.
Begins.
Oh, the task failed.
We just played the task. We can't have 2 in a row.
Yeah, this save file is not TAS anymore.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Thankfully, Croc's at least faster than Metatite, so we can skip its 2nd turn. Yeah, the nature this Croc has should have no problem purifying by the time we get to the place to purify it. It's really good for sending out in battle method. And that's really the one we want, because all the other methods are not fast.
And we do like to go fast.
And we should start gaining experience points in the background just after we finish this Colosseum and enter the building, the next building. It's one advantage of using the backup save. I already kind of know some things about this Croc. It was actually kind of cool that I could, when I was making these starters, I could actually just go for Croc after Croc and check their stats exactly. And normally you can't do that because the program we normally use to check Crocs only works for the first Croc, and then if you reload the save file, you have to either wait a long time, or I'm not even sure if waiting works because you're on a different RNG, but using Aldolaro's program to check what our RNG is before starting the file every time.
Wait, did you just crit the Electrike and not the Cactus?
Yeah. Marathon. But yeah, using Aldolaro's program in tandem with another program, good old RNG Reporter, I was actually able to quickly check every Croc that I hit without having to play all the way up to the Relic Stone or check the IVs exactly or anything, which is kind of nice. Shoutouts to Aldolaro.
Yeah, he put in months of work into this. It's amazing. Now we only need to make it work for XD Pal.
I'm sorry, Retro, it's never gonna happen.
Gino told me he had a method, but he didn't want to tell me.
No, it's not that. I just wasn't sure exactly how to make it work yet. If I have no idea what it's doing, I just give it to someone else to do.
Alright, so we got a lot of ranges in this fight. Didn't get the big on one. Got the Goldeen one with Shadow Rush, though. This Croc's got good enough attack to make that pretty likely. And Magnemite will be guaranteed if Shadow Rush crits.
Which Magnemite?
The good one. The non-run killing one. Sometimes I actually use an X special in this fight. We'll be using X specials in some pretty neat ways in this game. Some nice glitchy ways.
Glitchless.
Glitchless. And Confusion that. Just in case Shadow Rush doesn't crit. Don't like to give the game too many chances to screw me. So you get to see that lovely present animation from Delibird. Sometimes it actually can heal you, and that's actually slightly slower because there's a lot of lag after you get the heal.
Just the thought that counts.
Yeah.
There's a small chance if you're trying to do a very specific setup or just make a mistake late in the game, Shadow Delibird can actually miss Shadow Rush against you or fly. And that's my only memory of Delibird at this point. This one just... I think I hate this Delibird. There was actually a run where I think I got crit like 4 times in this fight, and Espeon was at like 9 HP, so it goes for presence on Espeon, at 1 HP of course, and you know what happens? It heals it for 50%.
What a
GG.
gentleman.
Are you saying something, Retro?
I was just saying how much of a gentleman Delibird is.
Ah,
Speaking of that, Yanma.
yep, next Shadow Pokemon, Yanma. So this fight's actually nice when Yanma is nice. We just mash A every single turn. Yanma has Supersonic, that's pretty much the only thing that is really annoying. And also Croc can just not crit it, and sometimes that makes the difference between killing it and non-killing it.
For some reason, Yanma's model is lagging the game a lot. So whenever it's done using a move, or like anytime it's on screen, it will take a few seconds to transition for some reason.
Supersonic, miss, okay. See, I like when they use Supersonic but miss, because that's actually often the fastest thing they can do. Okay, Yanma down. And we are gaining XP now because you can see my shadow bar is down by more than 2 segments. It's really good when that happens for this fight because this guy gives a lot of XP compared to the next several.
Aside from some very small, unlikely things after this fight, this building's pretty... it's pretty calm. There's Magnemite, there's a thing that I got like a week ago that I don't want to talk about.
And we've all had things happen here that we don't want to talk about.
Okay. So, what's the trick? Tura, right? So that's the ice-type one?
Yeah,
Double powder snow freeze.
awesome.
That also happened to me.
Pineco gave us Bide, so that's pretty nice. And we got the Confusion 1 hit, also nice. One of the nice advantages to having perfect special attack on Espeon. It's still not that great of a range, but it's reasonable.
Also, the thing about Shadow Pokemon, whenever they're in hyper mode, they can't be healed or anything, so that's why we gotta watch out for our HP as well. There's a healing machine behind there, but since we have to go up a lot of stairs, we have to try and not go down and heal too much. Or else Croc will probably be in trouble and die, and when it dies, it snaps out of hyper mode as well.
Yeah, as far as it's practical, I'm going to try to use my standard 1 heal strat. I have a certain fight that I like to take a heal after, and then hopefully not have to double back anymore after that. And we're off to a good start because Yanma actually didn't use a damaging move.
There actually is one way to avoid losing a hyper mode when Croc dies. But if it ever happens to you, then it's already bad enough that you won't care. All you have to do is get poisoned out of battle And when Croc dies, it won't lose hyper mode. That doesn't make sense. You get poisoned in battle, and then take enough damage from it out of battle, and when you revive Croc, it'll still be in hyper mode for whatever reason. Probably just because the game doesn't check.
Huh, I did not know that.
That Taillow is also a range.
Yeah,
And
that has Endeavor
fun.
too, so it can actually just bring me right down to low HP. It's not fun. And then Croc ends up killing itself if it targeted Croc.
something tells me that happened to me during my ESA run, but I'm not sure.
No, nothing bad happened during the ESA run.
Other than me forgetting to get the X items. Oh, I actually got it. Never mind then. That run was a train wreck in itself, so I'm just imagining everything bad that could have happened actually happened.
I just realized my notes are stupid here. I have notes for when Croc is faster than Carvana and for when it's slower than Carvana, but they're exactly the same. Like, Carvana just uses focus energy turn 1 if it can't kill me, just like Larvitar. So it doesn't really matter whether you're faster or slower, you still just... It's either just that animation or not. So the fight after this is the dangerous one. And it's the last fight, ideally, before I turn around and go heal for the, hopefully, final time. I could be safe by waiting another fight or two, but we'll go for the fast Pyrite building. If it doesn't work, I do have the extra X items, and I have a strat for Firma, who's basically the final boss of this building, if we don't have hyper mode there. I haven't tested it yet, but it seems okay on paper, so if I have to use it, I will. It's not really the worst thing in the world if Croc loses hyper mode when we get to the top.
And here's the infamous Magnemite.
Just gotta crit. Just gotta get the crit.
Skill-based.
We didn't get the crit. I'm not even joking.
Oh,
So we're dead.
nice.
Rip hyper mode. So yeah, this AI is not random, unfortunately. He will always use his strongest... It crit me, too, with Thundershock. Like... Just for good measure, I guess.
It begins.
We're just showing what the worst scenario is, all according to script.
Yeah, Remoraid actually could have died to Confusion in one hit, but it's not very likely. Might have been better just to go for a flinch with Bite. So Espeon got confused, so we're just gonna waste its turn by calling, which is actually a viable strat in some of the later fights anyway, if you just need to waste somebody's turn. So, not being in hyper mode is okay for a couple of these next fights, because we don't normally attack with Croc at all in some of them. Or we don't care if it crits. But hopefully we get it back before the top. So a couple fights are going to be a little slower in the meantime. But I guess if we don't get it back before the top, I do have a untested strat. Uses 2x specials that I could try.
9 and 16.
So I think this is the first fight so far where I'm about to do the X item glitch. Basically, we use an item that doesn't work on our other Pokemon, and then that sets the target for the X item. So the X item now gets put onto the other Pokemon. So basically, we just boosted Espeon, and now we're attacking in the same turn.
It's
Which
like
is
in
just
Relay.
one application of the glitch. So you can also boost up 2 stages in one turn.
It's just like in the later generations where you can also do it, but this is the non-intended way.
Yeah, basically just becomes a mechanic in Gen 5 and on, I think.
They
Possibly
knew
Gen
about
4.
this glitch. They all knew.
It's an Easter egg.
Yeah. They patched it in XD, unfortunately,
How did they
along
patch
with,
it if they never
along
knew
with
about
ball
it?
duplication.
Conspiracy. I think you mentioned in the pre-show that it was Paper Guy that discovered this, but wasn't it Thurler that discovered it?
Yeah, I think Thurler was actually one of the first that discovered it. So this fight's unfortunately going to be a bit slower, not having Hyper Mode. I think it's the same turn 1, though. Okay, got Hyper Mode back. Now just don't confuse me. Alright, good.
The chances of turning into hyper mode is also depending on your nature.
Yeah, and with this
Some
nature,
natures
it's pretty much a 50-50 chance, I think. Gino would probably know that better than me. It's an average one. So not likely, not unlikely.
It's supposedly 50-50.
Just like Rock Smash defense rubs.
I get those all the time. What are you talking about?
Teach me your ways.
Learn the manip. Doesn't exist.
Just gotta press start and select at the same time when doing it.
Down B when throwing a Pokeball.
Pro strats. Alright, so next is the double freeze fight. We've already been trolled by Magnemite. So we should be fine here, right?
Didn't you talk about earlier about not changing things?
Well, double freeze was already mentioned, so
Oh, it's already changed.
yeah, too late. Okay, we crit the Snorunt with Confusion. So I think we actually have a decent chance at killing Spheal with a crit. 61 attack, I can't remember the range. Oh, we got it, alright. One turn fight.
One day we'll have to do one turn Voltorb fight.
Yep.
Don't do that, please. The 13 and 16 to just die.
Okay, we pick up this one revive. We're only going to have one for quite some time.
Just do the Pokeball glitch. Easy.
Yeah, but with revives instead.
Yeah, easy.
Okay, so I have good enough attack that Shadow Rush can kill this Horsey in one hit if it crits. Always got to assume it's going to crit. I think I'm actually faster than the horsey. Yeah, I should definitely be faster with this Croc. So we don't get to see its dragon dance animation. Assuming we crit.
So All Stags does use the Master Ball glitch to catch 40 things, because I'm not using Ultra Ball to catch 40 things.
But in this run, it's only used for 2 fights.
Oh, and Quillfish. Quillfish cannot be caught in a Master Ball, so have fun with that. 20% at half health.
Yeah, there's some abysmally low catch rates in this game compared to XD. XD's much more tame.
It makes no sense. Why is Quillfish a 45 and then Swablu a 255?
Yeah, some of the Shadow Pokemon catch rates they actually buffed in this game, but some of them they probably should have buffed.
Surely try to get the new All Stags route going, because then people might be interested in it.
Yeah, that's something I kind of want to help her out pretty soon.
I want to start putting in Delibird early, save 6 minutes.
So this is another fight where I sometimes use an X special just because I don't trust Shadow Rush to crit. But if I had to use an extra one earlier to save myself from some other situation, I'll try to save it. I'm going to try to save it in this case though, just because it's not really faster. And I'm trying to save as many as I can for late game. So we got Constrict from Tentacool, that's totally fine. And I'm gonna have Croc heal Espeon here. I think I need a super, yeah. Might as well go to full health.
Okay, so the reason you can't get Quillfish in the Master Ball is because when you try to come back with the Master Ball, all these trainers refight you. All of them, and I learned that the hard way.
I learned it recently the hard way too, because I was thinking of backup strats for if I kill Meditite. It's like, oh, I can just come back up right before I go to the under, but nope. That's like a 20-minute time loss if you try to do that.
Let's not talk about killing Swablu by Espeon critting it.
Espeon would never do that.
Well, this run would be a good thing.
Yeah. Alright, so some Mirabee hench women up here. Reef and Firma. Reef is pretty free. Even if we don't crit the Shadow Rush, Love Disc's AI is just agility turn 1, so it's a 2-hit. Firma, though, is a whole different story.
It's also funny when the dialogue is going on. When there's dialogue or transitions, when they're moving, you can move west a slight bit for some reason.
It happened to the lab too.
It can't be used for any advantage, unfortunately.
One day, if we get text box storage, we'll skip Firma.
I would just like to see a clip through to the elevator to the left, so we don't have to go through all the Pyrite building.
No, too much. You can't get through the door. But skipping Firma, that'd be fun. You'd lose so much EXP, but you skip Firma. And then have to fight her again in All Stags, because of course All Stags is the bad category.
False next for PSR 19.
No, please. It's routed to be decent.
I was actually thinking the other day it would also be really nice to be able to clip into the elevator that goes down to the under early so we could get hidden power sooner.
Or just skip the first hour of the game.
Or
2
just
hours.
skip to the credits.
Actually, wait, that'd be really...
Yeah, I mean, you'd have to
It'd be
catch
4.
something for Venus if you tried to skip the entire...
Oh no,
first
you
hour and a
wouldn't.
half.
I figured out a way to trick Venus into making the fight free without Croc.
Really?
Super slow though.
Okay, so I'm
Oh.
going to be using the non-one-hitting Apom strat here, because Croc's attack isn't quite high enough. I mean, it's an 80% range, but I'd rather be sure Apom dies.
What you would probably do is just... You can get no, you can't even get a netball. You'd probably just use Suicune at that point. Shadow Suicune.
You can get net balls at the outskirts stands, I believe.
No,
Apom,
'cause you skipped
Apom
back
hit
in.
itself in confusion. Awesome.
Oh.
How would the game react to you going down there really early? Just be like nothing would happen. Venus would never show up.
Yeah, I feel like all the same cutscene triggers might still be down there. So you can still get the
Game's
R
so
disc.
broken.
Probably don't even ever need the F disc.
Future things to try out.
I probably could have returned Mantine. I have good attack on this Espeon. We confused Mantine too. Wow. But it got through.
Another 10%.
Will we get the 1 in 480?
Well, we didn't get the
Stuff.
crit with Shadow Rush. So that's a heal.
Oh wow.
Who likes Croconaw?
It got through confusion again. Didn't crit me at least. Okay, Croc, come on. Good job. I think I can just regular potion this. Furret should use Helping Hand here instead of Quick Attack. Sonic Boom's only going to do 20 regardless. It's kind of funny that they have this AI.
Oh yeah, this amazing strat. Helping hand into Sonic Boom.
Yeah, and I still tank a Quick Attack with this health, so assuming Croc crits here, I can finish next turn. Okay, good. So not quite sub 1 hour Firma. Pretty close though.
Alright, I can say it now. 0. Not 2 with 0. Oh, there's still more Shadow Rushes to go. I shouldn't have said anything.
Not too many more though. I'm actually gonna do a call in the next fight so we have Surf for Metatite. So then we talked to Silva, the guy that made off with the gear earlier because he was trying to do the right thing. Then we see Mirabee again on the screen, taunting us to come and get him in the cave. So the game doesn't really tell you this, but you get a free heal after that Firma fight, so our team's in great shape again.
There's one thing on that Mirabee fight that... Well, okay. You know the story. But you know what I'm talking about, like which Pokemon? There's only 2 things he has.
Yeah. So this is another great fight that showcases the X special glitch. So this Quillfish actually used to be kind of an uncomfortable damage range with an unboosted confusion. So not only do we get to guarantee it dies, but then Goldeen dies to a +1 confusion next turn. So we make up the animation there too.
Gino's gonna love seeing this Quillfish die.
Turning upside down.
You know, it'd be better if Quillfish had Silverwind.
Well, it has minimized, so that's up there.
At least it's not Gen 5 minimized.
True. Speaking of good moves like minimize, guess what move we're getting from Linoon?
Sand attack.
I'm really happy that they made X accuracy, but not X evasion. Be a bit too broken.
Okay, this is a range. I'm going for a +2 confusion on Linoon. And didn't get it this time.
Good job, Croc.
That's why we bought extras, though. That's one of the situations I could get into. It worked out okay on a run recently, but I guess it doesn't... Oh, I forgot to call Croc. That's fine, we can do it in the next fight.
Don't accidentally show off what happens when you use Surf in Hyper Mode.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes it's pretty good. If you don't know what happens, it can do one of many things which you'd never expect. Like, you can hit your... It doesn't hit itself. I think it can hit itself in Confusion, but sometimes it'll attack the trainer, or you. It's pretty good.
Yeah, we saw that with Makohita earlier in the run.
When do trainers get their own stats? I'm pretty sure Rui would be a reset.
100%. Okay, so call Confusion Bagon. So this Metatite is important to catch. I really don't want to kill it.
Yeah, it's holding a Twisted Spoon, boosting Psychic type moves. I think that's pretty handy for Espeon. Might be, at least.
So yeah, I called Croc there so I can safely go for Surf without any of those negative side effects that was just mentioned. Okay, Calm Mind is good. This is hardly going to do anything now, so... I'm kind of wondering if I should... Yeah, just call.
It's also really fun to weaken Metatide, and then it uses high jump kick and misses.
Yeah, that's really what we don't want. Especially if we crit the Surf. Okay, so now I'm just gonna use Bite with Croc and try to... Well, no, I have to dupe still, so... This should be at least a 50% rate from there, so we'll just play this out. I really don't want to risk critting it. It can kill me, and I still have the revive, so I can also switch out to Umbreon, I guess, and take some hits, but... just let it be over. Come on, Metatite.
Call is a really good option if you don't have any moves you wanna use, and especially in this game where you can't turn off battle animations. That's where Call is a lot faster to use.
Okay, it just
And
damaged
unlike-
itself slightly more with Shadow Rush, so I think we might be close to 62% range here.
Unlike in XD, calling doesn't do anything, but in XD it'll raise your...
We got him.
evasive.
We're good.
Nice.
Alright, now I can say it. So, there's one way that you can one-turn this fight. Don't ever do it, 90% of course, but it can happen. Pass might end up doing it though. Confusion Bagon, Surf, to kill the Numel, crit Metatite with Surf, knock it under half, and have it miss high jump kick. If you went for that and that happened, I would have.
Just force it to miss high jump kick. So we're switching to Metatite for the next couple fights, just to see if we can get some nice hyper mode.
I didn't
Oh, yeah,
see
that's-
its attack.
Yeah, I didn't check the stats, but we'll give it a try anyway. If it's not good, like, I'll check it before we do the Mirror B fight. If it's not good, I won't use it in Agate Village. I
Oh,
kind of
can
want
one
to
of you-
enter the Mirror B fight at full HP on Croc if possible.
Can one of you repeat what the trainer you're fighting just said before you enter the fight?
Repeat what?
The trainers.
What the trainer said when you entered the fight.
Oh, welcome to here. Yeah, pretty good.
Along with cool.
Alright, so top 3 names in this game. What do you think? I can already think of 2.
I have to go check the list of names.
Are those 2 Cloak and Dagger?
No.
Those are 2 of my favorites.
Trainer number 4 in Mount Battle, as well as the final fight in Agate Village.
Okay,
Hey,
so this was
Cloak-
pretty much the best case scenario Sosh fight with Metatite strats.
I know who Cloak is, but it's not an actual trainer, is it? It's on the list.
Yeah, it's those 2 trainers that capture Silva in the under. Don't ever have to fight them, but apparently that's what their names are.
You don't. I do.
Oh, I like the trainer name, Rider Written.
Who let that through?
Also, some of the translations for other languages are pretty hilarious. Mirror B in German is called Die Queen.
The Queen.
Oh. Pretty much. There's also one really messed up translation, which I don't think you'll ever see. But I got it once in a randomizer. Retro, were you part of that randomizer? A different one.
Good question. I've only been part of one.
It might have been that one. In Mount Battle, somebody used Focus Plant.
Oh
What is
yeah.
Focus Plant? Turns out, Frenzy Plant was translated wrong, and that got through. We'll never see it. I don't think it even shows up in the normal game anywhere, which I'll be why. Speaking of great translations, you want to know why this game is so laggy? Because it's Japanese text being layered over. Everything you see is printed in Japanese and then in English.
And that's why we can't scroll the text any faster, because it's actually the same speed as Japanese, but Japanese is less characters.
At least we have instant text in this.
Only for crits. One game where crits don't lose time.
And also naming your Pokemon 1 character.
Hey guys, this is Ty Kevin83. I'm switching on as host for a while, so
Hey, Kevin.
good luck.
Do you have any donations to read? That would be a good time.
I have a $0 donation.
I was expecting you to say from Silverwind Boost.
Why did you donate anonymously when you could have donated as Silverwind Boost during ESA? You know, please.
Okay, so we're finishing up Zalo fight. If Metatite crits Lombre, it's pretty likely to die, assuming it doesn't have terrible attack. I'm actually going to try to remember to check the stats before I swap Croc back to the front for Mirror B. I guess if Metatite's, like, extremely good... Oh, it didn't crit. If it's extremely good, I can try to use it on Mirror B. I don't really like to use it on Mirror B, though, especially when it's not at full HP, because it tends to take a lot more damage than Croc does.
Critical hit Razor Leaf will change your mind.
True.
That thing looks really weak, unfortunately. Just from Lombre.
I also heard about a strat you can do. I don't know if it's just null snacks or if it's also in this game where if Swapple uses Fly, you can just try and catch it.
Yeah, the XP loss doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
You can catch it. It's guaranteed at 70% anyway, so Confusion will just make a guaranteed catch.
So yeah, the attack's not great on Metatite, unfortunately, so... Probably won't use it in Agate Village. I'll have to double check some of the Shadow Rush ranges with it, though. I think it's a little bit faster if Croc isn't in Hyper Mode by the end of this fight. Or entering Agate Village.
I wonder what Pokemon Mirror B uses.
Yeah, no idea.
Probably Pikachu.
I think these things surrounding him are just his cheerleaders.
It's probably a Sudowoodo.
Oh, he's sending in the cheerleaders.
If you've ever played XD before, and done all snags and that, or just, you know, beaten the game and tried to catch everything, he has 5. Where does the 5th one come from?
Better question. Why were the Ludicolo's outside their Pokeballs, and then when you went into the fight, they were back in the Pokeballs only to be sent out again?
Because he's mean.
He wants to waste time.
Good AI here, going for double Rain Dance.
He just wants to dance.
So if you're keeping track at home, Espeon is now at +3. Thanks to the glitch. We can now
Yeah, this
one-hit KO most of the Ludicolo's safely. The 31 is a 15 and 16 range. So this one's
It's actually
definitely
15
dead.
and 16?
Yep,
I don't believe that.
with 30 IV special attack, yep.
He's more like 1 and 16.
As long as I remember to equip the spoon, which I'm pretty sure I did this time.
He did.
You can also speed tie something with 31 IV speed on Espeon.
Yeah, you can speed tie the 28 even in rain. The 28 and 29 have Swift Swim, the 30 and 31 don't. This Espeon, I don't think quite outspeeds the 28.
But yeah, that's also a thing in this game only. It's for some fights it's completely random what order they send out Pokemon. So Mirror B has all of these Ludicolos, all being different levels and having different abilities and moves, but it's completely random which ones are being sent out first. It's only his Shadow Pokemon that is scripted to go last.
Really weird how some trainers do it, because there's some that's like, okay, it's random, but there's some things that are scripted to be last or not last or whatever it may be. There's even a trainer who sends out their Shadow 3rd out of 4th. Makes no sense.
So I could heal Croc here, but it's not even in hyper mode, so it doesn't really make sense to. Either we die and we're not in hyper mode, or we finish this fight and we're not in hyper mode. Doesn't really make a difference.
Yeah, the only point in healing would just be to get it some more XP. Which I think you're
But we
fine on
are
anyway.
in Torrent now, so
Yes, go for it.
if we don't
Kill
die
that thing.
here...
Kill the thing. Deserves it.
Razor Leaf. Didn't miss. Almost got that one-hit Sudowoodo kill with Surf. Would have been good. Alright, so now Metatite just helps us clean up. Alright, no more flinching at least for this fight.
Even with
Bye-bye,
that
Rain.
death, you should be at like 34.8, right? Or whatever 13.5k is, or something like that. You're fine.
Yeah.
Or are you shifted anywhere? We didn't talk about that.
I am shifted on Scrub, that's about it.
That one shouldn't even matter anymore, really. Except for 2 combos.
Yeah. So
Who
yeah,
doesn't
certain
love
fights in the
shifted
second half
being?
of the game, you can have different AI based on your defense stats. It's like we expect
yeah.
one outcome, but sometimes it can be the other outcome.
I was just gonna ask how shifted AI works, and then you guys were so great at commentary, you predicted my question.
It's really fun when it says shifted Venus by 1, and then you're a level lower and don't realize it, and well, you're not, and that's the run.
Yeah, it's very nice. We have this shifted AI spreadsheet that was made by Exarian a while back, and it basically gives us a lot of damage calcs defensively, like how much damage we expect to take from various threats, and some of the big ones that lead to shifted AI are just right at the top of the sheet. Like, we just enter our defense stats, and whether we're plus or minus nature in that stat, and it'll tell us whether we're shifted or not on some of the important fights.
Now, if we can only manip the shadows' natures.
If only.
Ryziken,
Maybe.
did you see my question in chat earlier about the Ultra Balls for Metatite?
No, I missed that one. Were you asking if there are any Ultra Balls available?
Well, I know there are. I was wondering if you had ever looked into that at the marathon strat to go grab them for the Metatite.
I hadn't really looked into it. I'm pretty sure you have to fight an extra trainer to get to them, if I'm not mistaken.
You don't.
You don't?
It's
You-
like it's like a 45-second walk detour.
Get that return power up.
Yeah, I know that Great Balls are favorable enough to get in after some slight damage, so I guess I was just kind of going for the safe surf strat.
Plus,
Yeah,
if you're not,
it's a pretty marginal difference.
yeah, the trainer who's near them, I think it's the same room with the maze of things on the floor, right?
Yeah, you have to like circle around some stuff.
Yeah, that trainer can see you from very weird positions in the room, and also not directly walking in front of her. So,
Huh.
smart.
Yeah, I've tried it a few times and have trouble getting seen by the trainer, but I don't think that it helps the catch chance enough to be worth it. But I also haven't looked at it too much since. I think Aldelaro also did the work to figure out the exact catch rates and formula used, right?
Yeah, it's somewhere back in the Colosseum channel.
So if we used that info, you could make it more definitive.
The Ultra Balls only boost the catch rate by about 12%.
Yeah, at least from full HP. I think it only gets as high as either 50 or 62%.
Great Ball's 41, Ultra Ball I think is 54.
Okay, so I'm going to equip the experience share after this fight. Don't let me forget that. I could have done it before this fight too. It's not really that big a deal. So Croc out of hyper mode. Get to go for flinch strats on Spheal.
I wonder how possible it is to actually manipulate shadow natures. be really tight, but I wonder if it's possible.
Were you asking that because I mentioned it for the potential Ho-Oh percent Minip run?
That could be a thing, yeah.
Yeah, I was saying something in either the hype stream or the podcast the other day that a optimized Ho-Oh route would manip the nature just for fast walk purification.
That would all be for Sense. Sense or faster.
Oh, you think Sense would work better?
Yeah, Sense are actually about 5 times faster. 6 seconds for a 600 drop. It's possible though, we can just make a 12-hour Ho-Oh time. Quippy XP share. Don't forget.
Got it. Thank you.
Actually, what is... No, oh wow, naughty. The perfect crocodile is the worst nature for that. Wonderful. I think this one's quirky, right?
Yep. And it's got near perfect attack, so we have enough attack to just gang up on the Shroomish right away.
Petro.
Mm-hmm.
The perfect manipulated Ho-Oh percent run. You wanna know what would happen?
Sure.
We'd all be bashful.
Oh, nice. My favorite nature. Getting the best croc I've ever seen on a neutral nature. Don't be bashful, don't be bashful.
I've actually started to
don't be
think in
bashful.
recent streams that the 4-call natures aren't as bad as the 3 ones because you're more likely to enter hyper mode, but
So slow to get into hyper mode and then call. It's 2 turns wasted.
yeah. We almost got the range on Cacnea even without the spoon. It's like 25% without the spoon and 7 and 8 with, I think. Something like that. But yeah, no hyper modes, so we gotta do surf strats on Baltoy. Which is fine. I mean, we have still enough PP after that for Mount Battle. So we skip the ethers in the cave on this route. It's kind of a recent addition with the hidden power route. And the only real consequence is we have to watch our surf count if we end up having to use surf strats on this fight or on Scrub. It's 13 or 14 is plenty for Mount Battle.
Also, I'm pretty sure that according to how low your shadow bar is, the less likely you are to get into hyper mode again.
Nope, under 1 bar, it's actually very high chance to go in hyper mode.
So it works the other way around, actually.
It only has an effect under 1 bar.
And I think you have to be using Shadow Rush to have a chance. Does Bite kill from there? Well. Now that Espeon's confused, I kind of just want to not go for that.
I believe Bite kills if Surf, like based on your special attack, if Surf did over half, then Bite will as well.
Okay, here comes Scrub.
Remember, there are 2 people out there. No. 1. What number was that trainer? The Mount Battle one?
What number for this area?
No, the Mount Battle one.
Which trainer?
Great name trainer. Or even better, the Spindo one's number 6, right?
Yeah, that's number 6.
Great. Well, everyone, you know what this means. Think about it so it doesn't happen.
Oh yeah, this cutscene.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, when you-
cutscene RNG.
The only bathroom break you really get in this run.
How does quick attack miss here?
Gen 1 miss.
Yeah, it's just scripted to have imperfect accuracy.
Why?
I don't know. I don't understand much about this cutscene. It's just that Egan is scripted to lose no matter what, even if Pikachu wins somehow.
There was someone who told me a story once of Pikachu winning the fight the first time they ever played the game. They were very confused.
Okay, this is a fun combo. Got the most notes for this one. So we go for the Hitmontop range. We probably won't get it at 34. This would be one nice way to have 35. Or one nice thing to have level 35 for.
Okay, I said shifted scrub wouldn't matter, and here we are with the Hitmontop lead.
Yeah. It's just gonna miss triple kick anyway. It's fine.
Oh no, it'll hit triple kick once. Why does triple kick
Oh,
have
it missed.
react-
It missed outright.
Perfect.
Alright, call confusion. Alright, so much for shifted scrub. And only one X special was used. Let's go for hyper mode, I guess. My notes say to surf here, but I can't afford to use another one. I can see why we surf. We kill Geodude coming in and just take a little bit of damage from Why Not's Mirror Coat, but yeah, this should be fine. Oh, we crit out of hyper mode, so yeah, we're good.
Yeah, I don't really like skipping ethers because you lose out on so many things. It's overall probably faster, ideally, but you
Yeah,
lose so many potential things by
because
doing
ideally you would still be in hyper mode for this whole section and you wouldn't have to surf at all.
it. Yeah.
But Mirror B is just not consistent enough to guarantee Croc lives, unfortunately.
The perfect run would have that, but can't.
Okay, pretty clean fight though regardless, so only 2 surfs down. I actually don't have a lot of damage on Croc. I could have just forfeited the damage for Mount Battle and just taken a free heal after this fight, but... Or not a free heal, but take the heal at Mount Battle Center. It's hard to know what the right play is sometimes here, because these 2 splits, this Scrub split and then the Mount Battle, kind of just go hand in hand so much. So now he's got to talk to a few people around Agate Village, and then we're gonna finally go purify our Croc.
Oh, this was it. This is the part with the other great name.
Oh yeah, the old man.
Senilor, yeah.
Senile lore.
Senile lore, yes.
We had that name decades ago, remember that?
I also accidentally said yes to hear more of his story, but was
yeah,
it really an
story
accident?
time. I have the perfect emote for story time.
I've always said agate. Is it or agate? Is it actually agate or does it?
I
does
say
it not
agate.
matter?
Just like the mineral. I don't know if that's right or not.
Oh, it's like a mineral. Okay, I didn't even know there was a mineral called that.
Yeah, someone pointed out to me that all the town names are after minerals. This was just like a week ago. I didn't notice until then.
Also, don't read the email too fast, or else it won't register that you actually read it.
That happened to me in Deep Colosseum. I was very confused. Why is she telling me to read this? I already read it.
Happened to me on a real run.
Wow, okay. All Snags isn't real. Has its own leaderboard now. I just think it's nice to see it up there. Even though somebody's gonna destroy my time in like one run. If I don't do deliberate early. Oh yeah, and you can also do that with Rui. Disappear.
And then she will reappear again.
She can teleport to you. Why can't she teleport to Rogum Tower? Rogum Tower that if you go there by accident, go to the under and come back in 2 minutes, it's fully constructed.
Don't press B during evolution.
Nope.
Totally not speaking from experience. From 3 different games.
So Croc's experience can vary quite a bit depending on how many fights it took part in, and its experience route, thankfully, is not very strict, especially if you have good stats anyway. And now we're off to a place where it's going to put in a lot of work. Assuming we don't kill ourselves getting into Torrent. I think I have to Confusion Return with this HP that I'm at right now. I'm actually going to take a safety save in case I crit myself in this first fight. It's pretty slow if you die right at the beginning. If we die halfway up, it's not as bad.
I'm looking forward to critting Gator with Confusion.
That's good if it happens if you fully heal. Oh, right. About that, actually. There was, a long time ago, a Colosseum race where someone, Retro, if you want to say who it is, you can go ahead. But I had to fully heal Croc, so I had to Confusion it twice because its special defense was pretty good. Confusion it once, and in the first fight, turn 2, Confusion it again, and crit it after someone commentating says, as long as he doesn't crit Croc. And that's where it started to 8-mouth battle.
You know where else it also happened?
You.
During my ESA Winter run.
Did Riddick actually say that?
I don't think so, but I think I mentioned that I don't want to crit my Gator here because I have to go all the way back and heal, and then I crit with the turn.
Let's go buy a revive.
Yeah. Slow. And I wasn't too well prepared for that run because it was a run that covered for a sick runner that couldn't do his run.
Yeah, you
So
basically did your run last minute.
Yeah, I didn't, I practiced my runs that were on schedule, but I didn't practice for this because it got rejected. That's partially why I forgot to get the X items in the middle of Pyrite building. I didn't realize until I was in the middle of Pyrite building.
It's okay, you don't need X items to get Silverwind boost.
Okay, so I gotta pay attention in this fight. Gotta do some awkward non-muscle memory movement. So in order to save Surfs, I only want to use no more than one in each of these first 2 fights. So it would have been optimal there to Surf twice in the last fight, but I can't afford the PP, so we're gonna hit Gator with Return here, hopefully not crit, and then we'll be fine.
Well, this is faster because Surf is such a slow animation.
Right.
That's... How many surfs do you end up using on Mount Battle, no matter what? 13?
At minimum, yeah, 13.
Do you save one? In which fight then?
Well, I try to
Spin?
use one only in the first 2 fights, because that assumes I only have to hit Gator 1 time, so I would just confusion that Sandshrew.
Well, there's a few fights you normally have to use 2, like the outdoor coughing one.
Yeah, that
Use
one
2
unfortunately
there.
you always have to use 2, but the Spinda one you can use 0. That's where I usually save them. It's 10 seconds slower roughly to use 0, and only like 2 seconds slower to use 1.
Yeah, that's why I'm not too sure about either skip yet. There's so many things you have to do to just be simplified by just having an ether.
Here's a question for you guys. Do you think it would be faster to not catch Feraligatr in TAS? Or is he so good compared to Umbreon? You would still need to switch.
No, you have to use Croc. Croc is much better.
Yeah, that's pretty much only because of Serve being double targeting in double battles.
Yeah, that would probably be really OP in TAS where you could double crit, double target.
Yeah, I already have like the first hour and a half of the task routed out.
Wow, nice.
Could also go for Bayleaf with Razor Leaf.
No.
Animation timing would be really interesting to have to look into for TAS too for this game. Because the animations are also different.
Thing is though, it's just one turning fights with 3 enemies is too good to give up Surf for, no matter how long it takes.
Oh, definitely. Surf wouldn't be the problem with the animations. It'd be more like when you have multiple things that can kill in one turn in the same fight, have a good time.
They've already been timed out by Xarion.
Yeah.
So we should be good living the one attack that Gator has to hit in the next couple fights, but I might potion anyway in case it crits. And I'll do it right before that fight, because we don't need Torrent there.
It won't crit. Don't bother with potions, it just won't crit. It'll be fine.
Yeah, but I'd rather not have to use my Torrentless backups for the 8th fight. I think it's
Please
the 8th
potion.
fight.
After all that's happened, please potion, no matter what.
Yeah, yeah. And I still have them to spare, so... In case anybody missed this from earlier, there is no safety saving whenever we want. So we won't be able to save before the boss here without losing a lot of time, so... Hopefully we don't get any massively bad crits in the final fight. I still have the revive, so... Shouldn't be too bad.
Yeah, as long as you don't get, say, I don't know, a 31 speed plus speed nature Entei.
Entei would probably need to have that with this Espeon.
What happened to me like 3 days ago. Not only that, but I believe it also crit me with Fire Blast. That was fun. Thanks, Plusle. You saved me.
Okay, and be sure to move our cursor over to Bite just in case we don't get this very likely Psybeam range. Okay, what fight is this for? So one more fight before Potion. This fight's got potential for some time loss if she leads with Lileep. And she led with Lileep, so...
But if you have plus special attack nature, you can one-shot or two-shot it with Surf and Side Beam.
Too bad. Every special attack nature has like 3 goals. Otherwise, it'd be great. Just crit a Surf.
Yeah, it didn't crit the Side Beam, unfortunately. If we crit Side Beam on the leap, we actually can save a Surf. It happened to me in a run recently, and I wasn't paying attention, so I ended up just using the same spin to strat, but I could have saved like 8 seconds. Oh, it still died. Okay.
Wow, that's a low Side Beam roll too.
Okay, so I think I bite the Trap Hinge to save the Surf, just in case Side Beam doesn't kill. Oh wait, Barboach still. Yeah, so we can't save a Surf. That's right. Yeah, if we had crit the Side Beam on the leap, we would have been really good, but at least killing it and not seeing Sandstorm is pretty good too.
Weird thing I found out about these first 2 trainers, I think up to this one. For some reason, the Trap Hinge have Dig, but only use it if your stats are a very specific way. Like compared to Bite, where Dig would obviously do more.
I think the first couple trainers here are actually not any kind of scripted AI, they're just still random. It's only when you get to like this halfway point that they start showing some semblance of AI. I didn't mean to do that.
No, Leap is smart. Leap Trainer's smart. I think. The one before it might not be, I don't know.
Okay, so we gotta use 0 Surfs here.
Speaking of tasks, double crit Surf here would be great. The Kadabra and the Spinda.
Yeah, but we actually cannot use any Surfs here, so we're gonna be losing 10 seconds compared to the regular strat. Thanks again to Mirror B killing Croconaw. Actually, we didn't get Hyper Mode anyway before the death, so...
In tasks, would you have to make sure that Croconaw outspeeds Espeon so that it does its double Surf first?
That's impossible.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I can... Yeah. Although, Pass would skip the share. Possibly. That's where I stopped. Oh, plus
Do you know-
the...
Do you know if there's a way to get Pokeross in this game?
Never seen it.
That would be interesting.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen it.
The problem with that is the double Surf would hit Cacnea and not Kadabra. Which crit wouldn't go.
So in going through these fights, I'm also kind of having to think ahead to the boss fight at the end, because I want to go for the Torrent strats. And to do that effectively, you need to have... You want to be just out of Torrent if your stats are good. You don't really care about being in Torrent at the start. And then the first time you get hit, you want to be hit low enough that this Metang will try to kill you with Psychic. So it won't protect. It won't follow its usual protect AI.
And I believe your special defense is pretty bad on this one.
Yeah.
So I think you should be fine around 28. Right. Where's that minus?
It's
Whatever
neutral,
the-
neutral 9, and the spreadsheet I have says 31 max, so I'm gonna have to potion. Which kind of sucks, because I wasted one on Espeon, so it's gonna be my last one. So I can't do any other Torrent manips later. I still have super potions, but would be nicer to have a spare potion too.
I actually found something that might be useful in this case. If Crocodile dies to Scrub 2, and you revive him immediately after, with these stats, I believe you're already in Solar Beam range, so you don't even need a potion then.
And flinch. I just used the wrong move with Espeon. I hate using return on that Sandslash, because it's one of those random moments where I forget I'm on return. So when I go to mash A next turn expecting Psybeam... Okay, he wasn't going for Gator.
So who wants to imagine this place without Croc?
Yeah, exactly.
It's very fun. I'll tell you from experience, it's very fun.
A lot of nice
doing
surf
Quilava
targets.
routing.
Yeah, I haven't gotten this far for a good reason. Don't want to. That Quilava is so bad. Okay, if Yanma's bulky, like really bulky Yanma, cannot be two-shot by Flame Wheel.
You have some nerve saying that fire-type starters are bad in front of a fire-type starter enthusiast.
It's Quilava in Calo. I think it's fine.
I have to agree. This area with not a water type it's pretty bad.
Typhlosion with Flame Wheel can't even kill Scizor. And that's when I stopped.
Because you love Scizor so much, you don't want it to die.
Of course.
I mean, you're only going to use Fire Blast for the whole game anyway, right? It'll hit every time.
Yeah, sure, well,
Well, it reminds me of Hard Gold Soul Silver.
let's just use Entei, okay?
Now that's the task question, right? Is if it's worth catching Entei and using it?
Might be worth getting Suicune actually. Because we were doing routing for Suicune route actually.
Yeah, I haven't looked
The
into too
problem
many
with
of these other routes
Suicune-
myself, but yeah, these guys might be able to say more. I think I heard that Entei might be pretty good compared to Suicune, assuming you hit all Fire Blasts and everything. And because you can get it here instead of having to make another back trip later with Suicune. Because we have to go to Agate Village again after this area anyway. So going back
So
to the
you
Relic
get-
Stone wouldn't cost as much time.
Is it called? No, it's not Eon Flute, that's an Auras.
Time Flute.
Time
Oh,
Flute,
no.
Yeah.
Yeah,
which is basically a free purification.
it loses about a minute and a half to use the Time Flute on it, though. Not a minute and a half, it's over a minute with the Celebi animation.
And also a lot of time to catch Suicune Entei.
So the problem with that, Suicune is terrible. Unless you purify it. It's just terrible. Because if you don't purify it, you don't have Aurora Beam, and you can't get any XP. So it just kind of sits there.
Yeah.
Entei potentially could be better. And yeah, there are some fights where I could see it being more useful, but in the end, Espeon does 90% of the work anyway. You'd also be using a level 40 Entei, so that's fun. Against, Slowking and all of them. Well, no, you'd have Hidden Power. Hidden Power is 100% worth it. Oh, right, the other thing about tasks. Crockett's Blizzard.
Oh, that old strat.
Yes, but in tasks you can hit every time and freeze things.
The old double crit freeze blizzard.
The reason I healed with a hyper potion right there is because I kind of want to keep at least a couple of supers in case I want to do some later torrent shenanigans that come up. There's some expected torrents that we go for later on, and then there's ones that are kind of bonus in certain fights, like the last one in the game. Some opportunities there if we have super potions.
One-shot Tyranitar and Torrent.
Woo. Alright, give me not Marsh Tomp lead, please. Okay, good. Good old Golem.
No shiny Golem?
No, not the special shiny. So this time we use the X item glitch on Feraligatr.
And then it does nothing for 2 hours. It doesn't do nothing. It beats the Steelix. Actually, it's not fair to say it does nothing yet. But
Don't crit, don't crit,
really,
don't crit.
would you say that Croc does anything for most of the late game until the end?
It lends support with Surf.
There's Dakim 2, there's Lair. That's about it. Oh, it kills a Rhydon, I guess.
Alright, so that first turn with the Earthquake there was the only really scary part about this fight. It's pretty free from here. Being in Torrent there makes Metang not use Protect turn 2, otherwise it would have, and just wasted time. And it's not being in Torrent specifically, it's being in kill range from its Psychic, which is kind of like mid-Torrent or lower. So now we Surf, Psybeam, Marshtomp. So then his last Pokemon comes in and takes a big Surf hit. The Entei.
Fortunately, Entei has pressure. We're out of Surfs.
Yep, so we gotta remember to... Oh, it just died. I was gonna say, we have to remember to move over to Bite or some other move, but... No, just flat out died.
Works for us.
Yep. We're done here. Moving on.
Must have been a really frail Entei then. Oh, never mind, you crit it.
Oh, it was a crit? I didn't even see. It's like half the time I get crits in this game, I'm not even like looking at the game because I'm like looking ahead at my notes or spreadsheet or whatever. It's like, oh, did I crit? Why didn't I hear the usual lack of silence as something
You're
else
not
is running
catching
its
Entei?
Yeah, I guess we're not catching Entei after all. We crit it.
It's a subtle reference to Entei Route dying in Crystal.
Whatever happened to Furret Route?
Furret's good for Mirror B %, if you're just ending the run at Mirror B.
Good for Scrub, I guess. If Furret were just faster for Mount Battle, it would probably be better to use. Which is really, really bad.
Yeah, it's got good support moves and stuff. I think it gets Helping Hand and Follow Me.
Furret gets every move in the game. Except... No, wait, was that you, Retro? Was it you who was doing the crystal? You couldn't learn Waterfall with, like, everything?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay, then it wasn't you.
Gotta come back here to have this little conversation again with Egan.
Oh, chat's calling you out. It is a task. See? You quit the end.
That's fair. I mean, it never happens in one of my runs, so...
Oh, about the XD shadow move thing. There are 20 shadow moves, and 10 of them will auto-kill you. That's what you used to know.
So normally you just come here and leave right away, but I'm gonna get a nice little convenient revive chest in the back here, just for safety. Then we can just leave out here. I think I used that chest in a tournament that we did last year.
Wow, what do you have against Sudowoodo? Huh? Entei, Raikou, Suicune, and Sudowoodo. What's wrong with Sudowoodo?
Nothing unless you're running 100%, I suppose.
Yeah, right. It always hits rock throws.
So this is another one of those parts of the game where we kind of just know what to do. We need these items to access the under.
So
Another
you're
pretty
stealing
good
something from-
soundtrack in this game.
Stealing something from someone who's asleep. Shake my head.
We're opening her prison cell, so...
They just let you do that too. Then again, we've been stealing from trainers the entire game. Oh, not in this category, but we did steal from Bluno. And the guy with Metatite who no one remembers.
Okay,
Well,
so
that
I gotta
trainer is
remember
also
I'm getting
blind.
one less hyper here. Because I bought more X specials early on. Could also sell Toxic, but I don't think we'll need to. If I need more hypers before going to the final area, we do actually come back here briefly later on. So I can just buy more then. Not going to be using the herb shop strats.
I don't like that because you lose power in return. You could sometimes need that for Crawdon, although hopefully not. Not Crawdon, I mean Shiftry.
Yeah, if that fight goes well, we shouldn't be returning Shiftry, but it still takes up inventory space and just kind of a time waste. So we're just kind of running around the under, collecting key items and stuff.
Or at the hotel visit. It costs $1,000, but it's, what, like 3 seconds faster?
Yeah, something like that. Healing at Mount Battle is pretty slow.
$1,000 actually doesn't even matter much. I think there was a money route I accidentally made or stole or something that was... Even when you bought everything, you had 1,097 left over, whatever number that was. So, it really ends up mattering. You know what also doesn't matter at all? Hidden power.
Hidden power, what is that?
It's a useless move.
Certainly not the basis for this whole new routing.
Hidden power is useless.
Hidden power is useless. But we'll use it anyway, because why not? I mean, maybe we got a good one. Never know. It's completely
Less
random.
RNG. Less RNG.
Hidden power steal 31.
Also, in PAL version, the TM for hidden power is at the top of the TM list compared
Oh
to
yeah, you have to actually...
NTSC.
And that's why Manip doesn't work.
Because it's tied together with XD manipulation.
Yes. XD has a menu change too, though.
So, these people are a little bit important in XD. We kind of meet their slightly younger selves here.
Which is weird because they take over ONBS, but in that game they're like 16. Aren't they? How would they own a business?
Because they're
What?
super smart.
Well, they don't talk that much, so it's good for a speedrun. Who cares?
Yeah. So those two Cypher peons right there don't actually have to be battled or anything. You just talk to Silva through the fence here and get his item.
Technically the only optional shadow.
Yeah.
And only one of them has a shadow. The other one is just forgotten about.
And somehow he manages to give you his item, even though his
8.
hands are tied behind his back.
It's not impossible. Like throw it through the fence or something. Kick it.
But how does he even get it out of his pocket or wherever he's storing it?
It's possible. I mean, your hands are tied behind your back. What if it's in your pocket?
Depends where your pocket is.
I say it's possible.
So then we teach everything, almost everything that we have, as far as TMs.
Look at him scrolling all the way to the bottom for hidden power.
Oh yeah? Look at you standing for EVs for 2 hours.
It was way more than 2 hours, by the way. Spent 2 or 3 days.
Thank you for proving my point.
Just because I needed to practice for ESA.
And you didn't even name Teddy Croc.
That was not my fault, that was the donation incentive. You should have donated more. Oh yeah, Ryziken, I also stole your idea from killing or saving Lugia from XD and used it for a donation incentive at ESA.
Nice.
Everyone to save Lugia.
Let me see if I can check how much we've donated to that incentive.
Alright, kinda bad fight coming up. This is kind of where we start seeing some more high-level strats, having to deal with different lead combinations. This fight's especially bad because we're kind of under-leveled, so we gotta try to stick to our script as much as possible with the AI.
What even happens with
Scripted.
I mean, there's no script. What am I saying? But yeah, the AI in this game is extremely predictable at this stage. They're always going to go most damage. So using that knowledge, we can make some good things happen.
What I don't get is, everyone says, oh, you know, Venus is harder because there's so many trainers you're supposed to fight before her. But why is her team level 45 and the next trainers it then goes back down to 37? And it doesn't even go back up to 45 until Ragam Tower.
Earthquake.
Great program.
Speaking of great programming, have you seen the post-game trainer lab with level 43s?
I haven't done the post game in years.
Good, keep it that way.
Also, that was $107 donated towards Lugia's fate. $12 to kill Lugia, 95 to catch Lugia.
You saved it.
It was a good fight though. Got frozen.
How many dollars to purify Lugia, though?
You should have caught all of Greevil's Pokemon.
Yeah, just use the Master Ball too.
I actually think I found a faster Grateful fight for that game in all sense.
Isn't XD's Purify Lugia percent really long?
Don't. That's not even a thing. Please don't make it one. It's terrible.
Yeah,
Is it
it's
actually
so
a thing? I mentioned that in my chat once. It'd be cool if this Purify Lugia thing was actually a thing.
I'd hate that so much. Please don't make it a thing.
Isn't it part of 100%?
It is. It's so bad. Okay, a Purify Lugia thing wouldn't be that bad because it would actually be a pretty fun thing to route out. The problem, actually purifying things. It's so mindless and boring.
In XD, right? Like it's a lot harder in XD than in
I mean, yes, on average it's slower to purify things in XD, but either game is mindless and boring.
I mean, in Colosseum, there's the glitch where you can unplug your controller when you're walking on the edge of the cliff to purify Pokemon with walking.
No.
You can just go take a nap.
No, you could, but it's actually only about a quarter as fast.
So I wonder what hidden power we got. Let's find
Probably
out.
like Psychic.
See if it'll do much to Suicune. Probably nothing at all.
It's hidden power normal.
Oh, it's pretty good, actually.
Oh, Fairy.
Hidden power shadow.
That's really bulky, though. Even 2 Shadow Rush recoils isn't going to be enough.
Oh, time for the first Hyper Beam.
Nah, not a bad fight, though. Yeah, first Hyper Beam hit. Usually +1 hidden power with Hyper Beam is enough after 1 Shadow Rush recoil to kill Suicune, but that was extra tanky. Okay, so the minor debacle on Mount Battle where I had to bring in Plusle, I don't think that lost Espeon any XP, because I think the share you're guaranteed so much. So optimally we're able to use rare candies now, but only if I hit level 42. I didn't actually pay attention. But we can check. Okay, yeah, we're fine.
So that elevator, you see Venus going down. Retro, this is you. You time this out.
I was gonna wait until we had to go all the way back.
Nah, that's fine now. You can't even bring it up to you, you can only bring it down to you. Which, wait. They used to go back up, don't they? Why can't they call it... Why can't you call it down? Or up, or anything? Seems bad.
Probably luck or something on the top, maybe. Probably not.
So from
But
here
there is
on
a fun
out,
detail.
until the end of the game, you'll end up seeing a bunch of trainers who have kind of random order switch-ins at the start. This is one of them. So for each combo, we kind of have to do a slightly different strat in most cases. So there's actually, it ends up being a lot of notes when you do this run. I wouldn't recommend trying to memorize everything. Especially the last fights.
Yeah, in your notes, isn't Levi's like 20 pages?
Yeah, it used to be. It's a little shorter now, but pretty much it's still a lot of notes.
Now you can just two-shot Floking every time.
Okay, didn't get a tanky Gligar, that's good.
There's a really nice detail about this fight that I realized not so long ago. Both Teddy and Jigglypuff have fake tears, and after the fight, the girl will start crying.
Bye, Teddy.
That's mean. Both the Teddy kill and the fake tears. And, okay, if she's actually fake crying, why does the next trainer say something about it. There's some backstory here.
It's a really good fake cry.
We don't need exposition in a game like this.
Steal things and run away.
Yeah.
So how close is that incentive to catch Tyranitar without the Master Ball?
Do we have any donations? That would be a good time.
Depends on how long Worcester's willing to wait to start his run.
Don't ever do that. It's so bad.
It's a joy doing, or it would be a joy doing all snags without the dupe glitch.
Pokemon Colosseum 100% glitchless sub 40 attempts.
What are you talking about? There's no glitches in this game.
This game is programmed perfectly.
Well, I mean, all things considered, it's actually not that glitchy.
If you send out Meditite and the Evice, actually any battle with a Shadow Pokemon, but
Good
we'll
flinch.
just use Evice as an example. Send out Meditite, and it goes for Shadow Rush on the same turn as Evice were to send out Tyranitar. Meditite's, you know, the thing in battle that shows your health and everything, top left.
Mm-hmm.
That will stay there until Sandstream stops.
Hmm.
And you're telling me this game is 100% stable?
Well,
No.
I'm just mentioning the fact that there's no like trainer skips. The story is basically intact.
For now.
So another quick X item glitch here. So we get this Stantler kill. Saves a little bit of time, otherwise we would have to protect Espeon against takedown, or just take the hit. Unnecessary damage isn't really fun. Especially because Stantler likes to crit. And crits
Stantler likes
just...
to live that side with 1 HP and then kill you. You're not supposed to die to that, huh?
Yeah.
Real shame if that happened.
And then this next trainer's got an Octillery that likes to lower my accuracy. But luckily she gave me a good combo, so we can just kill the Octillery right away.
Are Masquerain and Octillery still Psybeam ranges at +1?
I believe Masquerain still is, but we have hidden power, so it's fine.
I still Hidden Power Octillery. I don't know if it's a range or not. Probably is. Dunsparce is. I know that from too many times.
And I think I'm actually just not going to use X Special on Feraligatr. I'm going to save this one. Trying to save as many as I can. We do teach Slash over Bite. Don't really need Bite anymore.
Program better than Pokemon Red.
That's like saying a toaster is programmed better than Pokemon Red.
It is.
This game doesn't even have tweaking. What a shame.
This has actually been a very, very smooth stairwell so far. Normally at least something slows me down in these first 3 fights, but these have all been pretty smooth so far.
Do you realize what you have left?
Oh, Sneasel's easy.
Just crit it.
It's
The
all
way you
skill
said,
based.
the way you said
Sneasel
stairwell
never
there,
kills me.
Reminded me of the CS:GO like map jargon they use. Use
What's that?
surf at stairwell.
It's actually recommended not to X Special Gator if it has bad special attack, because using 2 surfs on Piloswine is slightly more damage on average than just hitting it with a +1. In this case, we probably would have been completely fine because we have good special attack, but like I said, I'm trying to save any X specials that I can.
Save them for Deep Colosseum.
Yeah, luckily we don't have to do that.
What's wrong with that water, by the way?
Corsola
Never seen-
Sneasel. Alright.
Never paid attention to that.
What's my hidden power? 65.
I thought it was randomized.
You don't know the hidden power. It's probably just some skill or something that hits Suicune.
Well, let's see if it's enough to kill Corsola. Easy peasy. So it must be stronger than Psybeam then.
My favorite thing before Manip used to be,
Wow.
Espeon, hidden power Rock, 35, Umbreon, hidden power Fire, 67.
Look how much this slash does to Sneasel. I almost don't even have to Hyper Beam, but I think I will anyway, just in case of min-maxing. Yeah, he went for Screech anyway, so probably a good play. Yeah, it's a pretty good guess. We could have Hidden Power Grass. I could see that. And we get Psychic finally. Just on time.
It's almost like it's scripted.
What script? I don't see any script. Wait, where's my script?
Yeah, I'm doing this all from memory. I don't have any notes or spreadsheets or anything. Certainly no scripts.
And this is not pre-recorded at all.
Who would get a pre-recorded world record in Platinum?
And who would play it on stream and act like it's a real stream? Who would do that?
So luckily Venus drops the key that we can use to drive the train.
I mean, who would do what was I? Who would script inputs for a task and play it back live? So script.
And then admit that it's tasked and you're not doing anything.
And not admit that it's a task from playing Colo. There's only one way to know if it's really a task. Electrode Magnemite.
So this next place coming up with all the fights used to have some pretty bad ones for Gator. I say used to, they can still be bad if we crit things that we don't want.
And here comes my favorite word, skedaddle.
That is a great word.
even though it's much out of order because I have delay on my stream. Okay, now I can mention the thing.
Now it's time, yeah.
Okay, he's going up the stairs now. And the reason... you can also take the elevator all the way up, but I timed it. And walking up the stairs is 1 second faster. If you manage to not hit any of the railings.
Oh no, I hit a railing.
God dang it, ruined. You can also go to the room to the left and pick up back up max potions if you want to be really safe. So this is entirely execution based.
I think we still saved maybe a quarter of a second.
Save the frames. Kill the elevator.
Yeah, I'm saving nearly a minute compared to my PB here. This was a really clean stairwell.
Glod stairwell?
It's gonna be close. I end the split when I enter the lab. Yep, gold.
Wow.
Wow.
Something going well in the marathon.
Yeah, what's up with that?
I gave it a few minutes.
Didn't Pulse get some Glods in his USUM run?
Yeah, he did. And Crafted also got a few in Fight 2. Actually, I think he got one.
Oh, I thought my Glod was special.
I didn't get any gloss in my run.
Okay, well I can take comfort in that.
Actually, no, that's not true. I got one for the second Santa Cruel.
My run didn't have splits, so rip me.
It's a task though, it's always gold.
Always gold.
Unless it's Pokemon Gold. And no, don't play gold. No, gold's pretty good actually.
Okay, so this fight right here is actually kind of key. It's an easy fight, but we want to take some damage from one of these Voltorbs, so instead of protecting Gator like I would typically do on old strats, I'm just going to go Hyper Beam instead. And Voltorb's going to outspeed Gator and use Spark on it always. And this damage will be pretty nice to have in the next area. And we don't really expect Gator to take much more damage than in this fight, in any other fight here. So we just want to stay right there. So as long as I play correctly, shouldn't have to worry about Gator's HP for a while. Pick up this so we can get into the main lab next door, which we were just in, but now we can actually go down the elevator. And I picked up the PP ups, right? Yeah, okay. It should be good. Because those will be necessary. Mash A. Down we go. Got to keep an eye out for some sparky spots on the floor. So there's certain things we need to be collecting here for this puzzle near the end. Apom Cast Form. So this is another random combo lead.
Alright, guess the DNA samples.
My Diana Sudowoodo, where I go.
Sudowoodo's banned.
You're banned.
Soon.
I mean, I have a sword, I can ban you. So what are the options, Gino? I think that's what chat is waiting for. If they don't know this game.
Get them.
I know Entei, Raikou, Suicune, and Polava, Croc, Bayleaf, Mighty Anna, Sudowoodo, and one more thing, Mr. Evis. Dang, I'm good.
So which 3 of those 9 are we gonna get?
No Sudowoodo guesses.
And before the 2 DNA samples we pick up, there's something else in the Sudowoodo, and the Sudowoodo ends up being the last one.
That's worse.
People have been looking into manipulation of the passwords. All I know is that when you're on green splits, you always get it last try. When you're on red splits, it's always first or second try.
Based on secret ID. So we could manipulate it, but we'd have to look really... It'd take a lot of work.
This is the first Electrode fight that used to be pretty worrisome, but now it's not so much.
Someone came up with a Sudowoodo guess.
I know who I'm banning.
Okay, didn't do the thing. If we crit that Magneton, it's actually pretty bad. We don't want to one-hit something this turn. Because then we'd have to do a YOLO Protect next turn, and for those that may not be familiar, Protect's chance of success drops drastically if you try to use it consecutively. And that includes if you use an item in between. You have to be using a different move in order to increase that counter.
And what was generated by secret ID? Something important was.
But I think the chances of Protect working resets when you fail it.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. So we can save a Psychic here. Probably don't need to, but may as well.
Just in case. You can still get through the lab with 20 psychics, right? Even without even without 2 psychics.
I don't actually know what the total number is for the lab, I just kind of manage it fight by fight.
We don't know what the samples are until we reach the door. Or not the door, but the elevators. So it's after Shadow Grand Bowl.
And speaking of samples, haven't seen any yet. We've passed 2 of the 9 possible locations.
What are you talking about? This one? Oh, on the table downstairs before Electrode Magnemite guy. If
Yeah.
you run down to that table and just mash A, you can still get a sample even if it's not shining. It just sometimes doesn't shine for a few seconds.
What?
Huh.
And remind that there can be 2 DNA samples in the room to the left. Penguin didn't know that.
It's like if it's not shining at all, you mean?
Yeah, you just run up to that table and mash A, and if it could still be there.
Huh. Because I know that sometimes the shine animation is delayed a little bit, but usually there's enough time when we're walking around the trainer.
No, I've seen it happen many times now where I just run up, mash A, nothing shining, Get a sample.
Well, I might have to look into that.
I mean, it doesn't lose any time to do in a run. Just right up to the table and mash.
Yeah.
Even if you're walking past it, you'll still pick it up.
Oh, Murkrow. I wonder if we might have a hidden power that deals with that. Hopefully it's not grass.
We saw some guesses before. Fighting should do it.
Ooh, super effective. Super effective on Murkrow. One shot.
It's probably fairy then.
Yeah,
it's
probably.
gotta be fairy.
Gotta be fairy. Or rock. No, it couldn't be rock. It's physical. That probably wouldn't kill. No.
Shoutouts to mechanical keyboard.
Still no sample.
You can also make Rui stuck in one of the rooms and then take the elevator alone. I think I saw a Japanese runner doing that, and I was pretty much
Yeah, and then she'll still
mind-blown.
randomly appear in this fight to tell you about the shadow Pokemon.
If only she stayed there for the entire game.
Just throw her into the PC like Pikachu.
It actually would save time if you were stuck there forever. Even now, she blocks you everywhere.
It's especially fun in the under when you're taking the whatever thing it is, the flying saucer.
Oh yeah, if she stays stuck there, she'll wait like 15 seconds. Oh, am I supposed to go with you? I'll think about it a bit.
Let me just work around this really hard puzzle first.
I don't know. That's a lot of steps.
So yeah, some
What
of these
about Let's
fights,
Go
again, they
Reset?
have the random order switch-ins, so I'm making sure I'm reading my notes correctly. The next fight, though, is not random, it's pretty free.
You said you did all of this from memory. Are you scamming us?
I don't even know my hidden power, man. I don't know what you're talking about.
Stick to the script.
Nice, getting the return kill on Fortress. Actually almost killed itself with Shadow Rush. Those were really good surf rolls.
Visible HP.
So he's going to the left here to get a DNA sample that's pretty much guaranteed to be in there. That
Yeah.
guy will pretty much jump from the ceiling from that side or the right side. So you have to find him nonetheless.
Process of elimination. We're running out of possible locations for these samples. There's two that can be in this room next to me.
How does he jump down from either way without knowing which one to jump down from?
Watching you.
But how does he do it? Like he's... How is he even in the ceiling in the first place, like all the others?
He has an Ariados. Come on, Gino.
But that doesn't help.
That's so flavorful. I had never thought of that before. He's like riding the Ariados, stringing down from the ceiling.
What are you talking about? He can just fly.
That's all the others do.
Yeah, I mean, that one had a Murkrow before. The other one had a Swablu.
I mean, considering at Mount Battle that there there's giant platforms that can be held up by small propellers. I mean,
Now you don't need those. That game can just jump like 50 feet.
Steampunk.
but that game has giant feet.
So we're putting the spoon back on now. And we take care of our PP. Sand bowl? Didn't see a sparkle up here, but I'm gonna check. Okay. So if there's not one that's right in front of the next elevator here, I think I'm gonna turn around and investigate that glitchy one that Gino was talking about.
Marathon luck.
Because I don't want to have to continue on into that optional room straight ahead. I think there's a required fight in there if you do that. I don't know if there's a sample that you don't have to fight that trainer for.
Guys, 100% anything is a bad idea. Relax. You don't need to get all these crazy ideas about 100%. Don't do them.
Yet you're still doing them.
Don't.
The Granville range.
No one needs to talk about them. They're bad ideas.
We're swiping. 5 hits, okay.
Typical marathon luck.
Talk about swipe or no swiping.
Ooh. Okay, will we see a sample here, or do we have to go turn around and investigate? Ahaha, okay, it's here. I didn't see the sparkle. It was delayed.
I love how he snuck up to it, just like.
Yeah, I couldn't remember where exactly on the floor it was. Okay, Mr. Viz.
Maybe if I sneak up to it, it will start appearing.
Quilava.
That's. I got one right.
Alright, so if anybody in chat has guessed Misdreavus Quilava, so far you got 2 out of 3.
Third one, Sudowoodo. You know what happens. You know who's coming back.
Alright, second electrode fight. This one's pretty free too, as long as we don't kill something on the first turn. So just no critting, please, Espeon. Well, we crit, so now we gotta do YOLO Protect. Okay, it worked. We're safe. Saved.
Nice task. Double crit.
Can we get the triple?
Nope, no triple, but we got the range on Ampharos.
Like I said, nice task.
Thanks. I mean, what?
Script.
Wee woo, wee woo.
One more fight till we find out who's getting banned.
Best part of the game with this alarm. Imagine if it also played in the battles.
Always Kadabra. Alright, at least this one we don't have to take damage, it's just an extra turn, because we gotta do some protecting.
No, but camera up counts as the shiny golem.
It was Mischievous Quilava, right?
Yep.
Alright.
I'm going to guess Raikou. You know what happens.
Oh yeah, this woman also has a really good evolution. One of my favorites.
Oh, I just got it.
Yeah, my favorite is Napoleon. It's not in this gen though. Also like Chameleon and Luminion.
Hyper Beam!
Kecleon's tongue animation when he gets attacked is amazing.
I know Retro likes a lot of the feint animations on various pokes.
Aerodactyls is still the best.
I like Corsola a lot.
Oh,
Is
what
it
was
where
the
it just tips over?
Yeah.
what was the one that
So-
flattened?
That's Jigglypuff.
If you've never seen Aerodactyls, look at it.
Suicune.
Oh, nobody's getting banned today.
Aww.
Scrub Wobbuffet.
Alright, I'm gonna go make some dinner now. My stomach is being pretty upset.
See ya.
Catch you later. Thanks for hanging out.
You only
gonna
waited
be
this
back.
long to see who was banned.
Gonna be back in like 5 minutes. Doesn't take that long. But good luck nonetheless.
Sorry, the next
Thank
fight's
you.
free. Glitchless, right? Glitchless. It's not free, it's glitchless.
Right.
It actually used to be a tough fight. I didn't really have much trouble with it before the glitch. Then again, I rarely ran this game for the glitch.
Still have 18x specials. I think we're fine.
Oh yeah, 18 is way more than enough. You saved way too many. Or you bought like 36.
Yeah, it's 35, and then I saved like 2 so far. Okay, what's this menu? Heal Espeon and Elixir Espeon. Gator's fine. So yeah, you notice, like what I said earlier, Gator really hasn't taken any other damage besides that first spark. and the rough skin from Carvana. So this damage will actually matter. Be very important after this place. I probably could have waited to heal until the last turn of this fight, honestly. My Hyper Potions count is still pretty good, though, so it's probably fine. Okay, what combo are we getting from this guy? They're all pretty easy, just some are slower than others. Lantern Golbat.
So far, everything past Mirror B is going really well.
Aside from a little bit of Mount Battle.
Yeah. Oh, never mind. Use the revive.
Yeah. So this run must not be that good. Time to actually use some of these full heals for their intended purpose.
Its AI is very good. It just spams Confuse Ray if you're not confused. So we can just kind of take advantage of that for a super fast fight. Lantern's not a range anymore, is it?
At +1 it shouldn't be, with the spoon.
16 IV I think used to be a range, +1.
Okay, let me just swat the bat out of the way.
So, a lot of the big fights now, like this one, Venus 2, Mirror B 2, it's pretty much just boost Espeon and have Gator sit there. Really doesn't do anything anymore, except for like 2 fights in Torrent and possibly killing a Shiftry until the final area.
So yeah, Gator's HP is fine. Shouldn't have to heal Espeon, just 1 pursuit. That's fine. So that's it for the lab. Pretty straightforward overall, aside from having to go for that 1 YOLO Protect. Saved 10 seconds over my PB. Pick up a few things here before we head out. The story item and then the useful TM. Everybody should know what TM26 is. It's basically the same in every game.
Yeah, it's Return. Actually, Return might be a great item for or move for Gator at this point. If only.
Could be. I mean, better than Slash for sure.
We need our own Ursa Ring in this game. At least, okay, at least in XD Ursa Ring does stuff.
Does a lot of stuff, a lot of one-hits compared to this for Alligator.
Gator just does no good single target move. So much better if it had one. If Gator could just get Waterfall in this game, it'd be so much better.
This time's looking better than I thought it would. I think I'll buy a few hypers here. Might as well. Should be good on revives because I got that chest earlier. So you get to see this guy one last time.
Hey, special Waterfalls is not bad for Gator. Use a surf all game.
Yeah, I don't know if we really mentioned that when we use Surf and it hits multiple targets, it is actually only 50% power to each thing.
Yeah, and later gens they upgraded it to 75% but made it hit your partner.
But all the earthquakes and explosions and stuff like that will do full damage to everybody. In this
Yep.
game, at least. I don't know if they changed that in later games.
No, they didn't change that later. They did drop the, well, in gens 1 to 4, Explosion and Self-Destruct have defense of the opponent, so give it 500 or 300 base power. They got rid of that in Gen 5.
Use muddy water, that's the strat. Exactly.
No, what we need to get is Water Gun.
Yeah, it's only like, what, 7 or 8 power less than a half surf?
Yeah. Now, you know what we should do? Instead of doing this, what we're doing right now, right? We go into Under Colosseum, or no, even Pyrite Colosseum, and get Brick. That's how we solve Gator's problems.
Okay, Whiscash is gonna die first. So Flygon would normally Earthquake here, but because Gator is in range to die to its Solar Beam, it's going to want to use that instead. No Sunny Day or any shenanigans like that. It's just going to charge a Solar Beam here. And you'll see, first of all, how fast that animation is, but it's also really easy to play around. Okay, so this is the combo where Fortress does get to do something. I guess I could actually have played this fight a little differently. I think I need to change my notes a little here.
Speaking of stable game, Solar Beam is also glitchy, that it'll actually cut out the camera angle, let you choose your move halfway through the charging animation.
Okay, so yeah, I definitely need to change my notes here.
Claydol's Solar Beam range is a bit lower, but that's because Claydol in itself is just terrible. So we'd have to adjust the HP on Croc.
Good thing we have extra hypers.
Hey, free torrent.
So if I played this fight correctly, I should have just protected against Flygon's Psychic and just let it get that move off. It's good finding weaknesses in my notes, though. There's definitely still there. So hopefully Gator lives this. It should.
Always.
I mean, max damage is only like 2/3 or something.
Always more to add to this game.
Yeah. Alright, so unfortunately still not a good Marathon Dacum 2. But no deaths at least.
Wow, play it all really? 3 off a torrent? You can do better than that.
Let's see, Gator doesn't die to Exploud's Shadow Ball, does it? It only dies to the Giga Drains, I hope.
Shadow Ball from Loudred shouldn't kill it from this.
Yeah, it only does 42. Okay, we should be good. Espeon doesn't need healing yet.
I'm surprised that Loudred doesn't have strength.
I still kind of don't want to have one of the combos where Espeon takes a Shadow Ball. But, yeah, I can heal with Gator on a good turn.
No double Ludicolo, please.
Ludicolo Golduck. Four Psychics, okay, just enough. Could always use Hidden Power if I ran out early. No. Wanted to use the fast strat. Got the freeze though. Yeah, gotta kill the other Ludicolo now. This Golduck freezes me way too often in runs. Though to be fair, it does get to use Ice Beam like 3 times usually.
Well, that's another problem with using something that's not Gator. This Golduck always goes for Surf.
Just no freeze. Okay. So now for this next section, we're gonna heal at a machine, thankfully. And then we're gonna be setting up Torrent on Gator in the next 2 fights combined. Since we have bad special defense, we gotta do a little bit of extra work. This is kind of one of the situations I'm glad to still have at least 1 super potion. just in case we need it. I'd rather have some extra small potions too, but worst case scenario, there's other ways to set it up. Also, yeah, we didn't even really acknowledge that that's the last time we see Mirror B. They just gave him a much smaller role here in this place.
He doesn't have his own music. He's worthless.
Yeah. So here we see the dreaded Shadow Sunflora.
Also, shoutouts to Jumpluff's Shadow.
Yeah, those squares on the floor.
This is why I don't agree with making a Shadow Sunflora. No one wants a Sunflora.
Boy, that was a big hit. Still survive Giga Drain, but we're not going to survive Giga Drain and Suicune's Shadow Rush.
It's fine as long as you get a Blossom lead though. Like, Blossom right should be perfect.
So yeah, Gator's not really meant to do any damage to anything in this fight. We basically just need it to get into Torrent. Yeah, Misdreavus Wigglytuff. So we're gonna set up Espeon and kill Wigglytuff. Misdreavus actually will target Croc in this fight because it actually does not have Shadow Ball. For some reason. Only has Psychic. And a couple other status things. So this is where we get to see more of the stalling for turns just by calling. This is actually probably one of the ideal combos we could have seen. We don't have to worry about giving Suicune a turn to attack. Of course, I forgot she could taunt multiple times once the first one wears off. Taunt really doesn't last long in this gen. I keep forgetting that. Yeah, just no crit.
Taunt actually lasts less gens, wow. Less turns in later gens.
It lasts an entire generation of Pokemon.
Okay, so it took slightly longer than I would have liked to, but got nice low torrent.
Now
Just
to
gonna-
deal with double protect on Graveler.
Yep. So these next few fights are pretty free with the stats we have.
Oh, did I say less? I meant more. What's... Oh. I'm checking this. Okay, Taunt is 2 turns in Gen 3. Now it's 3 to 5 turns in Gen 4. Gen 5, it's 3 turns if you will go after or before. Okay, you know what, Taunt? I don't... Whatever.
Yeah, I just remember that it only lasts the turn you use it, and then 1 turn after that because of the battle CD stuff in XD.
Don't know why they ever made it 2 turns then.
Gino, you're getting some shade in the chat here.
Okay, this next add-in, the last of the 4, I really like this fight now with the hidden power route. It's pretty free. We can actually save an X item here if he doesn't lead the Starmie. If not, it's not a big deal. And look who it is.
Yeah, Gen 2 or just a complete stalling match would have been great. No more rest talk spam.
Nice thing about this, too, Rhydon actually has Lightning Rod, but Lightning Rod does not affect electric hidden powers in this gen. And we're completely unprotected against Rhydon's hit this turn, but what's it do? That. That's its strongest move. Pretty easy to play around it.
They actually never fixed the whole Lightning Rod redirecting hidden power until Gen 5. know it's a great ability? Storm Drain Gastrodon in Gen 4. Absorbs water type attacks, except it doesn't, and it still just takes the hit.
So yeah, plenty of psychics left for the next 2 fights, and then we use our last elixir.
Main benefit of Torrents on the fight after Shadow Heracross is to 1.5 shot the Hariyama, right?
Yeah.
So Double Protect would mess with that. Fun.
Yep, still does, but at least it's not guaranteed to go for the second protect. It can focus punch.
Water Compaction's a terrible ability. If it was an immunity, then it'd be better.
What's water compaction do?
Gen 7 ability that, when you're hit with a water attack, boosts your defense by 2 stages. The problem is, it's a ground type that has it, and it doesn't have an immunity.
Wait, it doesn't boost your special defense, it boosts your defense.
Right. No abuse.
What?
Great. And it's like, if it just wasn't immunity, it'd be so good, because the thing has recovery too.
It could be good if it's like you have a way of killing whatever it is and like keeping it for another Pokemon.
Yeah, if it were a special attack boost even, that'd be great. Because the thing gets also, it's a special attack with Giga Drain, so it'd be perfect. Gen 7's a crazy time. Of course, Gen 7 also has 2-stage boosting X items, so... go up to +4 in a single turn. Not broken.
That doesn't sound broken at all. That sounds totally intended.
One-shot Scizor, turn 1.
I love how Rui has to tell you that there's a Shadow Pokemon.
Definitely can't see Shadow Rush.
It's a really weird game mechanic that they like briefly mentioned at the beginning of the game that she has some sort of special ability,
Yeah,
and
she's
then
a freak.
it turns out it's like useful in every battle, but they don't really tell you what's going on beyond that she's seeing a Shadow Pokemon.
And of course, Shadow Pokemon can cheat and use other moves besides Shadow Rush, until you catch them.
Thanks, Gym Freak. Hey, this fight right here, we've mentioned this guy's Nuzleaf a few times. It's actually not that bad to understand how it works, but there's kind of a misconception with how Nuzleaf's fake-out targeting works. It has a move that kills Espeon. If Espeon is dead to it, it will target Espeon with fake-out. Like, fake-out's always going to happen turn 1. But if Espeon's out of range of that killing move, which is Explosion, by the way, but Gator is in range to die to it, Gator gets targeted by Fake Out, which is what we want. And this return might actually have a good chance to kill, and it does. Okay.
And if no one's in range of dying, then that's when the fight... What actually happens then? I've never been in the fight where one of them wasn't in kill range.
So this is... I have to let Gator get faked out. Yeah. I'm so not used to killing Nuzleaf right away. Okay, didn't get crit. Speaking of not getting crit, bless RNG for the next fight, not getting crit.
I think with these stats, you have a good chance of an Earthquake from Pincer. Yeah, on a crit. Pincer or Hariyama on the Tweaker? I think it's Hariyama. Yeah, just by a bit.
Okay, haven't missed a Hyper Beam yet.
Rest Talk could still be used by a really bulky thing.
So this is actually the guy that got thrown in jail in the Under. He's in disguise. He's just here to tell me to be careful, and then let me pass.
Now just walk away so he can tell the next person he was the 1000th guest.
This guy looks kind of familiar.
What a surprise, he's the bad guy.
Welcome back, Retro.
Ryziken, this is another section where you have you can't save for a while, right? So you have to kill a bunch of trainers in one go.
Yeah. I'm gonna take a safety save in this room over here. I could also heal
Okay.
there, but that's a little slower. Is that it? Okay. And this actually is meant to set my spawn point here, not so much in case we lose a fight. It's like if we lose the very last fight, we can actually just pick right up from that fight. And respawning here just saves time, because otherwise we would respawn at Outskirt Stand. Or actually would we respawn at the last PC we used? Still, even if it's like been a while?
Yeah, you do.
So that would be at Mount Battle, I think? Anyway. It's good to have our spawn point set here, because it's the end of the game.
What could possibly happen in the last battle that would kill you?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe something involving a boost?
Is the last fight still very improvised, depending on what happens?
No, it's routed out decently well, but there's still RNG that can happen.
Okay.
Didn't see what the combo was. Shift repincer. Nice crit. Now don't do it back to me. Okay. So this is really good. Now I don't have to Hyper Beam Shiftry next turn. Can just slash to kill.
From here on, there's a lot of trainers who will do things like Earthquake their own teammate, even though it's like, you know, a ground weakness like Tyranitar or something. The reason they do it is because they don't see their teammate as in kill range from the attack. So even if you were to attack it and put it in kill range, or you know, kill it itself, then they'll still Earthquake it. So there are situations where Evice will take out his own Tyranitar, which is always nice.
Does the plot for the last battle remain unspoiled? Have you guys spoiled it yet?
I don't think we spoiled it yet.
Okay, let's keep quiet.
There's nothing to spoil, we already know who the bad guy is.
No, we don't. We don't, Retro Tato. Nobody knows.
Yes, we saw the guy going to the elevator. He was just here a minute ago.
Oh yeah, that's the bad guy, right?
Yep, final boss.
Mr. Crazy Purple Hair, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it.
With the best theme ever to be seen in or be heard in any Pokemon games.
Oh, I thought that was Mirror B.
That's definitely the boss fight, quote unquote.
More amazing HP strats here.
Must be hitting off fire.
Nah, Chad already figured it out. You know it's HP poison?
Uh,
Alright, clean Gonzap. Better than my PB. Alright, so we're all saved up, set our spawn point at the PC, just in case these next fights go terribly. One more menu before we head up the elevator. Then Plusle's gonna be giving us a little bit of assistance here.
the real main switch.
In all snags, there's a 50-50 chance of Hustle making it all the way through the first 4 fights alive.
So for those that are just tuning in, and this is just kind of more AI manipulation here, because the AI for all these final fights will always kill something if they can, or target the thing that takes more damage from their attacks. And that's going to come into play a little bit here, and a little bit more several fights later.
Akudri, that is hilarious. Xehanort's Heartless is the final boss.
Why do people keep guessing the final boss? We already know who it is.
It's Umbreon.
It's Rui.
The Umbreons left the box to come back and haunt us. Or party, or wherever at least.
Who released it?
The power of friendship. Somebody in chat got it. It's gonna give us a bit of a helping hand.
Helping hand? Quote unquote.
He doesn't have any hands.
So thanks, Plusle. See you later. This is another fight where I could use an X item, but we're still saving him. Still gonna save him whenever we can. I think I will still use one in the next fight, though. Fastest way to do the next fight is to use 2, but using 1's only a little slower. Miltank's got some good AI, too. It will always use its boosting move if it can't kill something. And you'll see that same AI on the next 2 Shadow Pokemon. Oh no, chat's being way too smart. They figured out that I'm actually the head of Cypher.
So that's what the script said.
What script?
The script has been leaked.
What do we got? Mighty and a lead. So he always leads the Absol, and then the other one can be either of the two other pokes that he has. So now we send out Espeon and Gator together, because Plusle fainted in the previous fight. Gotta get used to the fact that they're in reversed positions. Not accidentally use the X items on the wrong thing. So Mighty N has a damage range from here. It's okay if it lives though. Okay, we got it.
Oh yeah, their spots are switched now because Plusle's in the first lots, but it can lead to some interesting things, like X Special and Gator.
Yeah, X Special and Gator is what we used to do in this fight, but since we have such a good hidden power here, Espeon can save some animation frames. Alright, didn't crit Espeon. So then we get a free chance to heal before the next fight.
I still wonder if this fight's faster with turn 2 Espeon protects.
I don't know, because then you're giving Sharpedo a turn.
Yeah, but it just crunches and goes into protect. But you don't take the Shadow Rush and have to heal.
So it's like removing risk.
Well, yeah, but you also don't see the animation.
Possibly. Like, both this route and the one you guys probably saw at the XD run are both still pretty new, because, you know, RNG manip hasn't been a thing for too long yet.
There's all sorts of stuff you can evaluate with the new route. It's a 4-hour-long game still, 3.5 depending on how good you're running.
So ideally, Gator can both outspeed and one-shot this Houndoom. Didn't get the outspeed. But yeah, Houndoom's AI always just has it use its boosting move first.
When is sub 330?
When we admit the hidden power is useless.
Yeah. Okay, we got the one-shot. So this fight's over. Moving on to Mr. Grass-type guy. And ideally this should be the last Hyper Beam of the run, although I think I might have a strat in the next fight that sometimes Hyper Beams on a certain combo. So if these fights were akin to the Elite Four, this guy would be basically the last member of the Elite Four.
It's almost like these guys are more powerful than all the Cypher admins.
Cradily lead.
Nobody sends out trophies in Cradily like Storm.
Yeah, that's a big thing too. Espeon, HP Electric, and Croc, HP Bug. Both of them together would really kill the game on an amazing run. Because there's so many things that are weak to HP Bug, like you one-shot Shift Ring Cacturn. Saved like over a minute just from the current route.
I always kind of hold my breath a little bit when I Psychic Tropius, because it can be a range if it has high special defense. One of those nice shadow Pokemon things to worry about. No poison. Good. And I surf here mainly just so we're more likely to kill the Cacturn with Hyper Beam next.
I still have no idea why Cradily goes for Sludge Bomb and Croc turn 1.
Yeah, it's some weird bug with its AI. No poison's pretty good. Because it's when we get poisoned that Cradily starts using its stronger move. Hyper Beam. Alright. And we crit for good measure.
Nice test.
Not a task until you know what.
Oh man. That moment's coming.
The final boss.
Yep, the final one.
Okay, so who do we fight next?
Yeah, make sure you split like critics did at ESA.
Oh, god dang. The final boss is also standing in front of a huge sea crystal.
Mr. Scary Hair.
I love the crowd animations. They're like, they're so early 2000s shaders. And,
This combo's totally gonna do X specials turn 2. I just know it.
Oh, time for the best theme. I would normally turn on Mirabelle's XD theme here.
It's Sephiroth.
Good job,
But where's
Puzzle.
the giant swords?
No turn 2 X specials, okay. So far this is going well. Thank you, Plusle. You were a good magnet for his attacks.
Why are you bullying the main hero? Why does everyone bully the main hero, Plusle?
The real MVP.
So we can survive. I almost
Well, I
switched an
think-
Umbreon there, I'm glad I didn't.
You would send out Meditite if that were true.
See, I almost sent an Umbreon to take the Sky Uppercut just to avoid a crit chance from Sky Uppercut, but he ends up missing, so glad I didn't do that. No need to be that safe. Not yet. Okay, we got the Swagger from Blaziken. He can do that or Sky Uppercut Gator. So now we've got a +2 attack boost. And Xatu is out, right? So both of them are going to target Gator this turn. Unless they X special. Okay, that's... should be fine. Surf. Do that. Yeah, kind of an underwhelming theme for a final boss. Kind of a shame.
What are you talking about? It's the greatest theme ever. Always shed a tear whenever I hear it.
I mean, and definitely for the final boss, it's particularly good.
Alright, +2 earthquake time. Who's ready for that?
Oh yeah, is it like the ghost music? You have to be a child to hear it, or something. We're not pure of heart enough to hear the music.
Just give it a minute.
Metagross
Alright.
sometimes dies to +2 earthquake.
What lead are you expecting? I'm gonna say...
What are you talking about, Gino? That's no lead.
Yeah, no, dude.
It's just
This is the
time
last
fight.
fight. Nothing's being led.
Alright.
I think he's talking about the credits. They can spawn random Pokemon in there.
Boo. Got a Hyper Potion. Should do half to Dusclops, though. Yeah, we're fine. Go Meditite. Okay, no second hyper.
Dusclops just teleported from the right side to the middle. That was pretty funny.
I heard an actual monkey sound just now.
I think that's my cat.
Oh yeah, I saw that. When it went to the Pokemon select screen, he just shifted.
Yeah, whenever they go from 2 Pokemon to just 1, it does that.
GG
I believe
well
in
played.
Gen 5 it's an auto center thing. Kind of the same thing.
Yeah, Gen
Alright,
5
so
has
that was
triple
a pretty good run overall.
Yeah, GG well played.
Yeah.
Oh, what's
Almost
fine.
a record.
what's this guy doing here?
Oh, it's the mayor.
He's here to congratulate us.
Ooh, yay!
What a nice guy.
Why are you here, Mr. Mayor?
He's here to take away the bad guy.
What face?
He can do a flip. And can float.
Oh boy, what combo are we getting from you, Evis? Scizor
Alright.
Salamence.
Come on, you can do it.
It's time
Oh.
for Silver Wind Boost.
Wait, you were serious? Oh no, it's gonna happen now.
It's not gonna
It's the
happen.
second worst. It's the second worst. Come on, we can do it.
It's gotta believe.
Gino, can I ban Silver Wind Boost if he actually gets Silver
Okay,
Wind
it
Boost?
has a chance to happen on this next turn. He X attacked, okay. Turn 2, X attacks.
That's still a boost.
I have strats for this. That's still a boost, yeah. It has a chance to happen here when he kills Plusle, though. Yeah, Plusle gets quite a bit of XP.
He deserves it.
Didn't happen. Okay, just no Hyper Potion here, please. Don't do it. Or, I mean, full restore. No, he did it. Alright, so it's sort of improv away from my nodes from here. But Slacking's out, so it's pretty easy. Alright, the bug is dead. This is just a call, isn't it? Yeah. I don't have shifted AI here, so Slow King just goes for Alligator. There's like so much we could be saying about this fight right now, but I need to focus. Okay, next turn should be Earthquake.
So the normal strat is to make Slowking use skill swap on.
Yeah, it does
Slacking.
that whenever Slacking is out with it. So it's basically a free turn. Then his last... I like that we got this set up. I really like that we got this set up because this last turn coming up, we get to see our Hidden Power Electric go in on this Slow King.
One thing I found out that's really fun, no matter how late into the fight it is, Scizor gets a Silver Wind boost and then cannot kill anything, again that setup, then he will actually baton pass it to Tyranitar.
Yep. Hidden power is useless. And we are X-specialed on Gator, so this Surf is not a range. That's GG.
But wait, there's another final boss.
Yup.
It's Umbreon and Rui.
And
Battle
Ryziken.
100.
Well, no, the mare actually has a second fill.
Well, I'm
Really
glad
a
I didn't
third.
die to that fight.
When's the split timing here?
It's going to be as Ho-Oh is
Ho-Oh.
flying away in the background. I'll let you know.
Right. I vaguely remember that.
Well, you did better than my couch guy at ESA. He did it after the fade out on the fight itself.
So this run was
Wait.
really only bad at the beginning, I guess. And then it got okay after that.
Are you? Are you actually that? I'm not gonna say
Alright,
it
time's
until
coming
it
up.
happens.
I split it already. I saw the Ho-Ohs flying.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay, then no one has to know. Good.
All right, well,
Still 8 minutes better than my PB.
Somewhere around the 348 mark, I think is the.
yeah, so like 348, I don't know, 15-ish.
Okay.
Still an underestimate, so I'm happy. I was a little worried because I didn't really give myself a super high estimate like in past marathons people have done with this game.
Yeah, I don't
But-
really know how you handle the end game because there's definitely a chance you can just die to somewhere in the final. Is it 6 fights?
Yeah, but if I die to the final fight, you can just re-enter that fight. You don't have to do the
Okay.
previous ones again.
So you have to kind of judge around how much time it's possible you could lose from the other 5.
And that's kind of the main reason I wanted to save so many X specials, was in case I died to that fight, I'd still have enough to like do the same strats again.
Hmm.
Because you typically expect to use a max of 3 X specials on that final fight, which we did. Like 2 are for Espeon, and then there's a third that Gator gets to sometimes have a free chance to use, so that it can kill Tyranitar more reliably.
Cool. Well, we are up for Pokemon Platinum E4 Round 2. So whenever you are wrapped up, let me know and we can start transitioning over to the next run.
Alright, yeah, I'm pretty much done here. Hope you guys enjoyed, and stay tuned for this last run of the marathon.
Also, the bonus game.
Contest person.
Yep. Thanks for commentary from Retro Potato and Gino, and thanks Ryziken